TikTok. I had to come back one last time because of seeing some stuff that was disturbing. We watched the Breakfast Club interview, and Sister Girl in the back was just loud and wrong. Loud and wrong. I don't know why people continue to blame the system for the breakup of the black family. When 1968, everyone who keeps saying welfare destroyed the black family. In 1968, over 55% of all African American homes had two parents in them. Two parents in them. 1968, a case came out called King versus Smith. Go look it up. For everyone who says America's so racist, King was a black woman. King was a black woman from Alabama who went to the highest court in the land. The highest court in the land, and got the no man in the house rule struck down. But in 1968, when the no man in the house rule was struck down, 55% of all African American homes had two parent homes. 2023, when you can clearly have a man in the house and be on welfare, 20% of African American homes have two parent homes. So how is the system fault? In 1968, 50% of all African American homes had two parent homes. A law came out striking down the no man in the house rule. So if you're talking about the black family was destroyed before 1968, you have a point. But after 1968, it seems like the black family dropped after 1968. So how is that the system's fault? And then you have to overlook the evidence that white family two-parent homes declined in triple. That's right. In 1968, white family two-parent homes was tripled. That is what it is today. So I don't understand it. We just loud and wrong for no damn reason. Loud and wrong for no damn reason. Maybe there's a deeper issue within the black community of why we don't have two-parent homes. But we don't want to talk about that. Maybe that issue because black women, not all of them, a lot of them are just loud and wrong. I mean, I know a lot of people don't want to have this conversation, but black women are just loud, and not all of them, but a lot of black women have chose their careers over raising families. I mean, could that be the reason why the black household has dipped from 50% of two-parent homes to 20% of two-parent to 20%? Because black women have chose they don't want to get married. They want to have careers. They don't want a man in the house. Remember, who started that? Did the system start that? That I don't need no man. I got Jesus, child. I got Jesus. Jesus, my man. I don't need no man. I got Jesus. That's the only man I need is Jesus. Jesus, and the pastor. Jesus and the pastor. So who started that? Did the white man start that? Was it the white man running around here talking about, hey, black girl, you don't need no man. You just need Jesus and the pastor. Maybe y'all chose your careers over families. Maybe, and then you created a bunch of women, loudmouth ass women who ain't worth marrying. Maybe that could be the problem. Who the hell want a ratchet ass wife? You know? I mean, like, look at the day. I feel sorry for the youth of the day. Whether they black, white, Hispanic, whatever color they are. A lot of these young women are not worth marrying. They want to be porn stars. They want to be OnlyFans. They want to be on TikTok shaking their ass. They're not wifey material. So two-parent homes are going to decline. Two-parent homes are going to continue to decline because we don't have wifey material no more. Most of these young girls don't even know how to cook. Shit, unless the girls are going to be the men and the men are going to be the girls, I don't see how two-parent homes are going to survive. How are two-parent homes going to survive? Most women don't even want to do the duties of a woman. They want to do the duties of a man. They want to be equal to a man. And we're living in a generation where a bunch of boys are being raised up to be feminine and they don't know how to stick up to be a man. So two-parent homes are going to continue to decline, and we can't say that's the fault of the system. I don't know how we're going to say that's the fault of the system when you got a bunch of women running around here trying to be manly. I mean, goddamn. You got a bunch of women trying to be manly. All y'all need to do is just put on your damn beards and stick your chest out. You know, that'd be all right with me if you walked around with your chest out. But I'm just saying. Most of these girls, these young girls, 25 and under, they don't even know how to be wives. They don't even know how to be wives. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to clean. They don't know how to do shit but run their mouth. And then when someone checks them on running their mouth, all of a sudden they want to be a woman. I'm a woman. Well, you wasn't a woman when you was running your mouth. You wasn't a woman when you was running your mouth. When did you become a woman? I mean, look at today's world. We got women calling out male boxers. There's no respect for men no more in this world. Men are the most disrespected people on the planet. There's no respect for men, but men are suspected to continue to do what they've been doing throughout history. Fight wars, protect women, but yet we are the most disrespected people on earth. Women, well, I can do what you can do. I was, Sambo, welcome back. I see you was waiting for me to come back. I can do what you can do. I can do what you can do. Women can do what men can do. Yeah, okay. You can do what I can do. Fine. Then go do it. Stop talking about it. Go do it. Start an all-women's army and go start a war with somebody for all I care. I don't care. I mean, damn, we just in a crossroad where no, we don't have gender roles no more. Everything a man can do, a woman can do. So what's the use anymore? What's the damn use anymore? What is the damn use anymore? Women don't want to be women. Men don't want to be men. Everybody's equal. What is the use anymore? I mean, everybody wants to blame systematic racism. When I just showed you, like in 1968, they struck down the man in the house rule. And what we have to understand about the man in the house rule is it wasn't for the biological fathers. The biological fathers, yes, the chick from the Breakfast Club. The biological fathers already was gone. There wasn't no biological father in the house when they had the man in the house rule. The man in the house rule was for women who had 4 kids and they got an itch to scratch. So, in fact, the woman who went to the Supreme Court and got the rule struck down, she was messing with a married man. It was a married man who had 7 children of his own when they came to him and said, hey, you're responsible for her 4 kids. He said, hold on, baby boy. I was just scratching my itch. I can't take care of the 7 kids I already got. I damn sure can't take care of her 4. Correct? Am I correct? Women don't want morals no more. Women do not want morals no more. Women want to be able to do whatever the hell they want to do. A woman wants to be able to run around in the skimpiest clothes and still be respected as a queen, as a goddess. And it ain't the government's fault. Women want to get on the dance floor, twerk their ass off and shake that booty. And when you get behind them, you wait a minute, hold on, baby girl. I ain't saying you a HOE, but you sure are acting like one, and I just thought that I would try it out, you know? Don't approach me like that. I'm a woman. What do you mean you're a woman? You half naked in your pictures. I'm gonna approach you how I perceive you to be. If you see me in some dungarees and with a ranch in my hand, you wouldn't be far-fetched to come up to and ask me, do I know something about cars, would you? If I'm walking around with some dungarees and a ranch in my hand, you're going to be like, hey, you know anything about some cars? Because I got the uniform on of someone who might know something about some cars. If you're in trouble one day and I'm walking around in a police uniform, you're going to ask me for help. I can't be like, I ain't the police. I'm just walking around in the uniform of the police. Come on now. If you're walking around with your breast out, your butt out, how do you expect me to approach you? I'm wifey material. You might be, but you're going to be one night material tonight. Someone might wife you, but I ain't going to wife you. It is a Dave Chappelle joke, but it's true. I ain't going to wife you. I ain't about to wife you. I mean, you go on these dating sites. Go on these dating sites. Look at all the women. They be like, if your first conversation is sex, I'm going to block you. But then you look at the picture, they breast hanging out, and they take that picture where they let you see that booty. So it's like you're selling sex. Why are you getting mad at me because I'm buying the product? You're not selling your brain. You're not showing yourself reading a book. You're showing yourself half nude. So I'm buying a half nude woman. So I'm going to approach you as you're half nude. If you were sitting down in front of an office with a pen and a pad and some glasses on, then I wouldn't approach you. But you clearly are selling sex because look at the picture. I can see your nipples. I can see your nipples in the picture. So I'm going to approach you like that. I can see your nipples. I can see your print in your pants. I can see your underwear. I mean, fellas, when you go to the gym, women, why are you staring? Why are you wearing that? Why are you wearing it? Why are you wearing pants where it makes it look like the pants are going up in your ass? Huh? Why? Why are you wearing pants? Make your ass look as big as hell. Make it look like you ain't got no underwear on. And you wondering why I'm looking at you. Because that's my nature. It's my nature as a man. Okay? I don't like looking at men. So when I see you come by with your big ass out in some pants that look like you got G-string on, I'm going to look. If you don't want me to look and you really there to work out, wear a big ass t-shirt so I can't see your ass. Right? Wear a big ass t-shirt so I can't see your ass. That's the bottom line. Women, I wear this for myself. I'd have met a lot of women who said, I don't feel comfortable wearing G-strings because I don't like stuff between my ass. So here you are talking about you wearing a G-string for yourself. You got a string stuck up the crack of your behind and you wearing it for yourself. Come on now, you know you uncomfortable. You got a damn string up the crack of your behind and you talking about I'm wearing this for myself. Okay, let a man walk by and they don't look at you. Let a man walk by and girl, you think I'm fat? Why ain't the men looking at me? See what the problem is, man, I'm going to tell you what the problem is. It's not that they don't want men to look at them. It's probably they don't want you to look at them. When a woman gets upset because you're looking at them, it's probably because you're not her type. And she don't want you to look at her. But if a man comes by that she wants to look at him, that man can say anything he wants to her. See, that's the thing with sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is some BS. See, because women let themselves be sexually harassed by men that they like. They just don't want to be sexually harassed by men they don't like. I done seen it happen 100% of the time. I'm not lying to you. And maybe these simps, they don't understand that because you can say anything you want to a woman if she likes you. If a woman likes you, you can say whatever the hell you want. You can say whatever you want to a woman. But if she don't like you, You're going to find your ass in human resources. You're going to find your ass in human resources. You're going to Unchained because you're a simp. You're a simp, Unchained. It's only natural for a man to be attracted to a woman. That's our nature. If you're showing a little skin, a real man is going to look. So you got all of these simps talking about, I won't look. Now, wait a minute, women. I ain't saying a real man is going to touch. I'm saying a real man is going to look. If you're showing skin, I don't care how religious you are. I don't give a damn about that. You're going to look because that's your nature. Your nature, you attracted to beautiful women. It is attraction for men to be attracted to women. You are going to look. Right, men still flirt because that's just men's nature. So everyone talking about, hey, well, a man should, if I'm walking around naked, a man shouldn't look. Please stop it. Stop it. A man's gonna look. Shit, a man is gonna look. You see how many men look at Lizzo? I look at Lizzo and I get disgusted at myself for looking at Lizzo. But it's just in my nature. When I see nudity, I'm going to look. I'm going to look because it's in my nature. I don't care how obese it is or how grotesque it is to me. In my nature, I'm going to look. It's just in my nature. I'm going to look. And only a real man is going to tell you this. A real man is going to look. So I ain't saying that a woman should be touched because she's walking around nude. I'm just saying men are going to look. So if you're walking around with some skimpy clothes on, a real man is going to take him a little peek. Now, I ain't saying that man should be gawking at you. But that man going to get him a little peek. I know I'm going to give me a little peek. Shit. And women, that's just the way the world is. That's just the way the world is. Y'all out here acting like, I mean, if you walking around and you looking good and you got your skin out and you walk past a man that doesn't look at you, maybe that man likes men. That's all I know. Maybe that man likes men. Shit, maybe he likes men. Maybe, I don't care. Maybe he likes men. Maybe that man likes men. I don't know. I'm going to look. I'm going to get me a peek. I don't care what you say about me. I'm going to get me a little peek. You walking around naked, you want the attention? Hey, baby girl, I'm going to give you the attention. I'm going to give you the attention. You want the attention? I'm going to give it to you, baby girl. You want to walk around naked? I don't care how fat you are. I don't care what your race is. You walking around with some skin out? I'm going to look. That's just the bottom line. I ain't saying that I'm going to touch you, and I ain't saying that I'm going to approach you. I'm going to give me a little peek. That's all I'm saying. I'm giving me a little peek. You can call me a pervert if you want to, but I'm getting me a little peek. I'm going to get me a little peek. That's all I'm saying. So all of that stuff about, oh, I'm putting this on for me. No, the hell you not. Who puts a string up their ass for themselves? What the hell? Who the hell walks around with a string up their ass? That don't make no sense. You walking around with a string up your ass for attention. I ain't walking around with no string up my ass by myself in the house. Ain't nobody walking around with no string up their ass when they buy their house. Who the hell does that? Who is doing that? Who is doing that? Who is doing that? Who the hell is just in the house by themselves walking around with a string up their ass? Who giving himself a wedgie in the house by themselves? Now, if you're doing that, then I believe you're doing it for yourself. If you're vacuuming the clothes, if you're vacuuming your house with a string up your ass, then you're doing it for yourself. I understand that. But when you go see women and they just in their house, when you see women and they in the house, and even if you married fellas, if you got a woman, you know how your woman cleans the house. Your woman is the most disgusting looking person you see when she's cleaning the house. I don't care what color she is. She probably got some sweats on, a baggy t-shirt, something tied around the damn head, vacuuming the house. She ain't walking around the house in no high heels and a damn string up ass vacuuming and cleaning, washing the dishes. Now, if you got that, fellas, I salute you, because that's shit. That, hey, if you got a woman who's washing the dishes in high heels and a G-string, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I can only speak for me. If I had a woman who was washing the dishes in high heels and a G-string, the dishes ain't never gonna get washed. I'm just gonna be real with you. The dishes are never going to get washed. If I come in and my wife or my woman is washing the dishes in a G-string and some high heels, fuck the dishes. We're just gonna have dirty dishes, because the dishes are never gonna get washed. I'm just gonna be honest with you. She's gonna have to wash dishes when I'm not at home, and she knows I'm not at home, because if I walk in the house, she got G-string and high heels on. Fuck them dishes. Fuck them. They ain't never gonna get washed. The house ain't never gonna get cleaned, because every time I come home and I see her like that, I'm just gonna have to do what a natural man does. That's it. I'm just gonna do what a natural man does. That's the bottom line. I'm going to do what a natural man does, and that's the bottom line. I don't know why we are denying our natural instincts. I don't know why we're denying our natural instincts. It's just natural. I mean, it's natural, right? Men are supposed to be attracted to women. So what happens between a man and a woman is natural. That's natural. I don't know where we came that this is so unnatural. So as a man, and I see you looking good, I gotta take my shot. So if you turn me down, cool. I ain't getting mad at you, but like, hey, like they say, you miss 99% of the shots you don't take. I gotta take my shot. I gotta take my shot. So, I mean, you got these simps out here, you gotta respect women. How am I disrespecting women by, if I see a beautiful woman, trying to go up and talk to her, get her name to get to know her? How am I disrespecting women? Hey, dude, you gotta respect women. Okay, how do you respect women? No. But see, the problem is, men are not men no more. Men are not men no more. Men are not men, and that's the reason. That's the reason why women don't respect men. Women do not respect men no more. That's why they doing all of this loud and obnoxious stuff. Women don't respect men no more. It's just the bottom line. Women do not respect men no more. Women think they're equal to men, and that's why you got the children thinking they're equal to women, and that's why everything is all out of wax. Everything is all out of wax. Everything is just flipped up, flopped down, upside down, crazy. And Christian women, you are the worst. Christian women, you are the worst. The Bible tells you that you are to respect the man like the man respects Jesus as the head of the household. You done skipped over the damn man. You done went straight to Jesus. You're supposed to go to the man. The man takes you to Jesus. You done skipped over the damn man. Am I lying? Am I lying? The man is supposed to be the head of the household. Most of you men are sitting on the bed with the children waiting for the woman to tell you what to wear. But you're supposed to be the head of the household. You sitting on the bed with your children kicking out your legs, waiting for the woman to tell you what to wear. The woman telling you what to do. You getting told what to do. You act like a damn because you know why, men? Most of y'all are looking for relationships that you had with your mama. That's what you looking for, your mama and your woman. Your mama and your woman are two different people. The things that your mama did for you, your woman ain't supposed to do for you. Your mama picked up and cleaned after your dirty ass underwear. Your woman ain't supposed to do that. Pick your shit up, man. Pick your clothes up. Be a man. Be a damn man. You waiting for instructions from your woman because you used to taking instructions from your mama. Your woman is waiting for instructions from you, but my mama used to tell me what to do. That's not your mama. That's your woman. Your mama and your woman are two different people. Treat your woman like your woman and your mama like your mama. Shit. You can't run around here treating your mama like your woman and your woman like your mama. They're two different people. Your mama and your woman is not the same. I mean, they both women, but they're not the same. Right? Your mama ain't your mama, your woman, your woman. And that's why women don't like you. That's why why most women don't like their mother-in-law, because they feel like they're competing with their mother-in-law. They feel like they're competing with their mother-in-law because you ain't made a distinction between your mama and your woman. So they feel like they're on the same level with each other. You doing shit for your mama that you should be doing for your woman. You're doing shit for your woman that you should be doing for your mama. Get this shit straight. Your woman's your woman and your mama's your mama. It ain't about no oppressive book. It's true. Your woman's your woman and your mama's your mama. They not on the same level. They not on the same level. Most women got to understand, I can only get one mama. I could get another one of you. So why are you even trying to compete with my mama? Why are you trying to compete with my mama when I can only get one mama? I could get another one of you. There's like millions of you. There's only one mama. My mama. So why are you trying to compete with her? But men, you got to let your woman be secure that she's not in competition with your mama. That your mama and your woman and your mama are two separate entities. They're not in competition. They have different roles. I know. They have different roles. I know I'm single and bitter. I know, call me all the names. That's what people do. When you tell the truth, they start calling you names. You're bitter. You're bitter. You ain't got no woman. Okay. I'm just wrong, Diana. Just come up here and tell me how I'm wrong, Diana. Diana, you can't even get in the club. You got 93 followers. You can't. Wait a minute, Diana. You got 86 followers. Let me see if you can get in the club, right, Diana. No, Diana, you need to get your bread up. Am I single? Why? You want to marry me? I'm just saying, man. Hold on one second. Now, let's get back to it. This woman, Larry Elder goes on the Breakfast Club. I don't know if y'all seen it. Maybe you have. Maybe you haven't. Larry Elder goes on the Breakfast Club. She want to talk about, let's not talk about racism. Let's talk about the system. So Larry Elder tells her, okay, she doesn't want to talk about racism. She doesn't want to talk about the racism of DC, the system of DC. The system of DC and Baltimore, those are all black people. But Baltimore has a black mayor, used to have a black police chief, a black DA. Everything in Baltimore is ran by black people. Black people. But yet she still blames white people for the downfall of Baltimore. Because she said white people run the system. Wait a minute. So basically, when you listen to these loud and wrong women, and it's not all black women, these loud and wrong women, when you get in power, you can create a system. So when you get in power, if I'm the mayor, I can create a system for my city. But no one in Baltimore, all the black mayors, all the black police chiefs, all the black everything they done had, has created a system that has did anything for black people. These are just black people in positions in power. They just black faces on white supremacy. I mean, what's the use of being the mayor of Baltimore if you don't have no power to do nothing? So why are you the mayor? So what's the use of being a police chief of Baltimore if you don't have the power to do nothing? So why are you the police chief? What's the use of being the attorney, the district attorney of Baltimore if you don't have power to do nothing? So why are you the district attorney? Why would you want a job that you have no power? Well, what the hell would you want that job for? Why would you want that job if you don't have the power to create nothing? Right? What the hell would I want with that job? You're the mayor. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. It's like being a stepfather. That's why many people don't want to be a stepfather. Because most of these women, they have these children, and they want you to come into these children's lives. You can play with the children. You can spend money on the children. You can do a lot of things with the children. But when it comes time to executing power because the children was wrong in their actions, you can't do that. You can't do it. You can spend all your money in the house for the benefit of her and her children. These are not your children. They're her children. For her and her children. And she'll tell you, don't discipline my children. When my children act up, come talk to me. And then her no good baby daddy or ex-husband or whatever, he'll come to you and say, hey, you don't discipline my children. So you want me to sit in a seat and I can't execute no power. So basically, you and your children can get the hell out. That's the bottom line. You and your children can get the hell out. You can get out. And if you, as the children's father, if you say I can't execute no power, you can take your children and you take care of them. You have them 24/7. So why would I sit in a seat and I have no power? Your child can do whatever they want. I can spend my money on your child. I can pay all the bills in the house. But if your child starts acting up, I have to come get you. Well, I'm going to tell you what you do. You pack your stuff and you pack your child's stuff and y'all get the hell out of my house. You get the hell out of my house. Get the hell out of my house. Bye. Y'all can get the hell out of my house. Because you're not going to execute no. And I can understand, like, look, women, if you intervene because this man is going too far, I understand that. That's your job. That's your job. But to get into a relationship and be like, it's a package deal, you got to treat my kids like they're your own kids, but you can't discipline my kids. Get the hell out. You can get the hell out and away from me. You and your children, y'all can go to the front door. Y'all can get out because I'm not going to be in this situation. I don't care who your child is. You bring your child around me, I'm going to discipline your child. That doesn't mean I'm going to spank your child, but when your child is out of order, I'm going to correct your child, especially if your child is at my house. If your child is at my house acting up, I don't give a damn who you are. We're going to get some get right, or you and your child can get the hell out of my house. That's the bottom line of that. You don't want me to discipline your child. Keep your damn child away from me, okay? Because when your child is in my presence, we're going to have some order. Now, if your child is running around cussing you out, that's fine. But when your child comes to cuss me out, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a big problem. So if you don't want your child to get no discipline from me, keep him out of my face. Because I'm not going to have no unruly child running around me. You're going to get some get right. You're not going to come over my house and tear my house up, and I'm supposed to be, oh, it's okay. No, you're going to sit your ass down. If I tell you to set your ass down on the couch. And we're going to get some get right. We're going to get some get right. And if you don't like it, don't come around me. That's the bottom line. I'm not going to sit in a seat where I can't execute power. And I'm not telling no one to mistreat children. But children need a level of discipline. And you can't be a man, this kid is acting up, and you can't tell this kid to stop, or you can't tell this kid to sit down. You have to I'm going to go tell your mama. What kind of man are you talking about, I'm going to go tell your mama? I'm going to go tell your mama. No, you're going to sit your ass down, sir. You're going to sit down. Enough is enough. Playtime is over. You're going to sit down. It's 9 o'clock. I told you to get off the game, go to bed. You're going to sit down, sir. That's the bottom line. You're going to sit down. See, because you got to be a man. You're the ruler of your house. If you can't execute no power, you got to leave or they got to leave. Because I'm not going to sit in a seat where I can't execute no power. So that leads us back to D.C. and Baltimore. Why would you want to be the mayor? Why would you want to be the mayor of a city that you have no control over? Why would you want to be the mayor of a city where you have no control? You're the head person of the city. So you make the rules of that city. But you don't have the power to make that rule. So basically, you just want to be a black face on white supremacy. That's basically what you want. You just want the title. You just want the title, the money. You don't really care about the people. Why you lied to the people to get the job? You said when I get in the job, there's going to be changes. You said when I get the job, there's going to be this, there's going to be that. But you knew before you took the job that you couldn't execute no power. You knew before you started running for the job that you couldn't execute no power. But you still lied to the people of that city and told them that you was going to do this and you was going to do that and you was going to fix this. And you knew damn well you couldn't do it. You knew damn well you couldn't do it. And then you rely on people like her to come out and say it's white people's fault. It's white people's fault. They created the system. Well, you knew when you took the job and you made all of these false promises that you couldn't keep them. So whose fault is it really? When you was running for mayor, you knew that you weren't going to be able to do nothing you was talking about. You just was like, oh, I'm just going to tell them whatever they want. Tell them whatever they want to hear. So they'll go out there and vote for me. Shit, I know I can't do that. Shit, I know I can't really make no changes. I'm just going to go out here and tell them what they want to hear. So who's the liar? You're the liar. You got up there and lied to your own people. And you knew that you couldn't do it. You knew that you couldn't execute no damn power. You just took a job. No, what I'm saying is, why would you take a job? If this woman is saying that when black people get into power, that they can't execute power, why are we still sending people, black people, still looking to be the mayors and the police chiefs and the district attorneys? Why are black people still looking to get in these positions knowing damn well they can't do nothing? Knowing damn well they can't do nothing. So either these people got power and they just don't execute it, or they just taking jobs and lying to people. They just taking jobs and lying to people. Because the mayor, if you have a city like Baltimore, where the mayor is black, the city council is black, the police chief is black, the district attorney is black, you have all of these black people in positions of power, how are you blaming white people? You have all of these black people in positions of power. How are you blaming white people? How are you blaming white people if you have all of these black people in positions of power? So either all of these black people knew when they took these jobs that they wouldn't be able to execute power and they just lied to the people, or all of these black people in power are full of shit. It's one or the other. You can't keep blaming white people. Either you're going to take a job of, if I'm going to take a job, if I'm going to be the mayor, I'm going to have power. If you're telling me, well, you really don't have any power, then I don't want the job. What the hell I want with that job for? You don't have no power. I don't have no power, but I'm the mayor. I am the highest person in the city, but I don't have no power to execute anything, then I don't want this job. I don't want to be your token. I don't want to be your face on a white supremacy. I don't want this damn job. Either I'm going to have power to do stuff. I don't want your job. I don't want your job. You're not going to use me. I don't want the job. Well, sir, you can go to libraries and open. I don't do what the. You do that. The mayor is supposed to be able to execute power. If you have a system of black people in power, you can't blame white supremacy. You can't blame white supremacy. If you are in a position of power, you are to execute power. And now if you take a job knowing that you are not going to be executing power, you are more to blame than white people. You are more to blame than white people. So, and that is the problem with people like her. They want to blame, oh, you have black in positions of power who don't do nothing for black people. So what is the purpose of putting a black mayor into office if the mayor isn't going to do nothing for black people? So that we can celebrate and say, hey, we got a black mayor, because that seems like what black people love to do. Black people love the tokenism of stuff. We got a black mayor, we got a district attorney, and the person don't do nothing for you. What says you?
Um, I don't disagree with that entirely. I think there are people that get into positions of power. They give a promise to a certain demographic and community and say, hey, if you vote for me, if you support me, I will do what I can to right the wrongs and fix the problems that you have. And when they get into positions of power, then it's like a lot of those promises that they ran on via the campaign aren't really necessarily delivered. And as a result of that, you have a lot of people who were given false hopes and false promises. But unfortunately, it's a that's what politics is. It's the sad reality, but that's unfortunately that's kind of what it is. It's just politicians that make false promises. And I think you brought up a question, and you said, well, if they believe that they don't have power, why even accept the position? I think it's a number of reasons. I think, and I've said this before. I've talked about this on another live. You have two types of politicians. You have the career politician, and then you have the service politician. Uh, the service politician actually cares about trying to uh, fix whatever problems that there are in society, and they're working in the best interest of the people. Whereas the career politician is in it because of the title, right? They're in it because of the title and the prestige and the power that comes with, and the respect also that comes with the title of being maybe a governor or the mayor. Uh, the career politician has sold out to big business and corporations, because for the most part, and I also talked about this, is that it's very difficult to make it in politics without having to play the game, right? You have to, shake hands, meet with certain individuals and groups and organizations behind closed doors, and you need to be able to raise funds as well. Running a campaign is extremely expensive, and so it's very difficult to make it to a certain position without having the funds. And if you get those funds, you have to get them from a certain group of people or certain organizations. And of course, it's like, well, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. So if they're bankrolling and funding you, you have to do things that curry favor, right? So you have to pass certain guidelines or legislation that benefit certain corporations that bankrolled you, and that's the truth of politics. Just like Joe Biden, and I said this too. You can't serve in politics like he has for almost 60 years and not make some type of concession. He knows how the political game is played. And so that's the reason why he's in there, because he's in there because he knows how the game works. And there's certain things that he's done to be able to maintain a career for that long, just like Nancy Pelosi and the rest of them. But yeah,
But
just like you said, man, most of these people are tokens.
yeah, because what we was talking about before you came in, this lady back here, she wanted to blame the destruction of the black family on systematic racism. I don't know if you've seen the
Mm,
interview she had with Larry Elder, and all black people thought she ate. And she was like, "Who
mm,
gave us welfare?" And Larry Elder said, "Well, welfare, you voluntarily took it." So it's like you can't say like black people have to start to look somewhere else, because what we overlook is the fact that in 1968, white families have tripled. The number of white families headed by single family households has tripled since 1968. The number of black families
mm.
that has are led by single family households has doubled. So how is it
Mhm.
systematic racism when it's happening to white people too?
Well, I think, well, you just said it. I think you have certain people that they look at things through a racial lens. Like to them, to certain people, they look at every single situation connected to race somehow because they're seeing things through a racial lens. I think that's why a lot of people will want to blame systemic racism. But the reality is that over the last 50, 60 years, man, our society has changed a great deal. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You have women who are working in the workforce.
Exactly.
That's number one. You have kids that are pretty much being raised by the state for the most part. The internet's really raising our children and our kids. You have feminism, second and third wave. You have marriages not really lasting as long as they used to. The whole idea of the independent woman mindset is extremely prevalent, city girls. And so
Exactly.
it's just women are on a different, it's a different stage in the game. You have more women who are independent and educated, and they don't really necessarily need a man to support them anymore like before. They can pretty
But
much make their own money and get their own and make their own way. And they're educated, especially black women as well.
but
So
see,
it's just
but
a lot of different factors.
but black women have to understand that. You're saying the system is destroying the family. Some black women are making a choice to, for whatever reason, to raise their children in single family households. For
It's
whatever
about
reason.
time black men stop blaming black women and start taking responsibility on themselves, because the truth is black men have not been present in their homes since 1965. Y'all ain't been shit for real.
Wait a minute, sister. Wait a minute,
Well,
sister. Hold
uh,
up. In
okay.
1955,
Honey,
wait a minute, hold on, sister.
since
1960,
1965, y'all were players.
statistics. Let's look at
Y'all have
statistics.
left black women
Okay, sister.
to raise families on their own.
You're right, sister. But let's look at statistics, sister. 55%
No,
of all
I'm not
black.
doing that whole fake statistic.
Oh
Black
my
men
God,
want
sister,
to
can I
pull
talk?
these statistics out your ass. No,
Can
let's
I talk,
talk for
baby?
real.
Sister, can I talk? 55% of
No,
black
no,
households had two family homes in
no,
1968.
I'm not going through this.
Then
No,
leave. Then leave.
Wait a minute.
If you're not gonna have a
It's only,
conversation,
he
then
didn't say
leave.
he can't talk on his own live.
shooting off statistics is not a
Sister, if you're not gonna
conversation.
let me talk, then leave. If we can't have a
Oh,
discussion,
you
then
can
leave.
talk. Go ahead and
Okay,
talk.
now
You're gonna sound stupid anyway.
see, sister, you're proving my point.
Shooting
You're
off
proving my point.
statistics is not
You're
having a
proving my point,
conversation.
sister. Sister,
It's not.
you have to be quiet to have a
No, I don't
conversation.
have to be quiet. No, I don't. I don't have to do
So you
anything.
see, this proves
See,
my
that's the
point.
problem right
This
there.
proves my
Black men
point. I can't
always want to
talk.
try to put black
Sister,
women
I
in their
can't
place,
talk.
and then
You
talking
can't
Sister,
about
I'm
talk.
not
You're
gonna
we don't know
argue
how
with
to
you.
be
conversation.
I'm
wives
not
and
gonna argue
mothers.
with you. Okay,
No,
sister, it's
black
time to
men
go.
have left the
It's
black
time to
household.
go.
Y'all have
Sister, you ain't
y'all.
gonna come on here dominating. See, that's
Wait a
my whole
minute.
point. That proved my point right there. Sister couldn't even
Billy.
stop to be quiet to listen to my point of view. She just wanted to keep talking. And this is why half of these women don't got men. Because what man wants to deal with that?
Wait a minute. Let's rewind for a second here. Now, you politely asked her on your own live, can I talk? And she said 3 times no. And I'm like, wait a minute. How can you tell this man that he can't talk on his own live? Make that make sense to me. I don't understand that. Billy, I don't understand that.
That's the
I
mentality.
don't
Okay,
understand.
you're in Dallas, right? So you're close to
Yes.
Plano, Texas.
Yes, I am. Very close. Yeah,
It's the Sugar Bowl, right?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. I guess these black women went to the Sugar Bowl. It's all over YouTube. And I guess they didn't
Oh,
show
no.
what led up to the security guards putting them out. They just showed the security guards putting them out. And I guess the security guards done had enough of them. And they talking crazy to the security guards talking crazy to them. And they being really ratchet because you have to be ratchet. You have to be doing something to be put out of a restaurant. I mean, I don't know how bad racism is nowadays, but people are just not walking up to people saying, "Hey, you got to leave. We don't like the way you look. You got to leave. You got to be doing something." So these black women, these ratchet black women, and I'm not saying all black women, they just take the portion of the video where they're getting kicked out, but they're not showing what they're doing. And it's like You don't know how long these men have been telling you to leave, and we don't know how it escalated. So all the black women, these ratchet black women, not all black women, are making videos and TikTok lives, and they're excluding men from talking. If you go in there and say something against them, they'll kick you out. So I'm like, you have this culture of like women who are just being disrespectful. You won't even be quiet so I can talk. You don't want to hear my point of view, but you want me to listen to your point of view. And it's like you said, it's
Yeah,
my
and
own
that's the
life.
yeah.
Uh,
I could see if you were being rude to her or something like that, or called her a name. You didn't even do that. She came in hot and heavy. She immediately said, "Hey, black men need to be held accountable," and I wanted to politely, just kind of deconstruct that a little bit because she tried to make it a gender argument and immediately attack men. Which, for me, the thing is that there's issues on both sides with men and women alike. I think our society as a whole has gone down in a dark direction. But she immediately came in hot and heavy. She overtalked you, and she wouldn't let you talk on your own live. And you were being polite. You weren't being rude to her.
right, that's what I'm saying. It's just how it is. Like, it's just this culture of disrespect.
What's going on, bro?
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, so I just got one question. So I just stepped into the live or whatever, and I hear it's like you kind of criticizing. I wouldn't say bashing black women, but I just have one question. Like, so you doing this in public? When is the last time you defended black women? I just have that one question for you.
But first of all, I'm not bashing all black women.
Yeah, that's
I'm
why I
not
said I
bashing black
was.
women.
That's why I said I prefaced there and said I wouldn't say bashing, but it's like criticizing, but it's in public. So when was the
Okay,
last? So the question is, when was the last time like you defended black people in public, black
black
women
people
in
or black
particular,
women? Black
black
people or
women
black
in
women?
particular?
Okay, first of all, I'm not discrediting black women. I'm discrediting black, loud, ratchet black women.
Okay, I understand that. That's why I said you
The way that
criticizing
he
that.
doesn't want to admit that white women are 10 times more ratchet, loud, combative, literally Karens. Do you see him speaking about Karens though? Why
Yeah,
don't you
so
go over here with this
Okay,
energy
okay,
for
but
white
wait,
women
hold on,
who
that's
are
why
sister,
that
hold on,
way?
like
sister,
you to
sister,
No,
answer
sister,
the
it's just
question.
about ratchet black
sister, sister,
women.
sister,
Shut the
sister,
hell up.
sister, sister. I live in a black house. So if I live in a black house,
Bro,
why
relax.
do I
You
care what white? That's black people's problem. Black people are so worried about everybody else, we don't even take care of ourselves.
Right, I
It's
get
like
that.
we
We
are got a problem. We got a problem in our community that we need to deal with.
you're the one to
We
speak out
wait a minute,
about it,
hold on,
right?
sister, please let me
You're the
talk.
one
Sister,
that
let me
needs to
talk.
speak
Sister,
out
please.
about it.
Sister,
hey,
sister, let me
let them
talk. Let
talk,
me talk.
sis.
No.
See, I'm trying to be nice on my
Are you
damn
gonna
on
do
damn
it?
Oh
live.
wow,
Oh wow.
he's begging you on his own live again. That's twice.
Just let
I'm
them
trying to be
talk. Let them
nice on my
talk.
own live. Can y'all let me talk? Can you let me talk? Now, when we talk about black on black crime, there's always someone wants to say white people kill white people. What the hell that mean? We supposed to let our people die at the hands of our people because white people out here killing white people? We should
All
be
right.
worried about black people being killed by black people. It's a problem. So we should
So
stop it. And just because white people kill white people, that maybe no one needs to kill nobody. But instead of us focusing on black people out here getting killed by black people, we make the excuse white people kill white people. Like that makes it all right. But when white people say we were slaves too, we always say that doesn't make it all right. See
see,
the hypocrisy there. And now I can't de- I'm not tearing away from black people because I always defend black people. I don't defend N words, whether they're men or women. Now, if you're wrong, you're wrong. And that's the thing. If you're right, I'll defend you. But I'm not going to stand with you if you're wrong. That's not right.
I
This
think
lady was wrong.
I think it more so have to do with your delivery and your audience or who you talking to. Cause it's like you're not trying to talk to black people, trying to lift them up. It's like I feel like your audience is to white people who hold these views, and it's like you're not trying to help black people out. You're saying, look at them over there. Like it's not, you're not trying to empower anybody.
Brother,
Can
That's
I
what
say
I'm
something?
getting out of it.
how am I supposed to empower
Can I
y'all?
say something?
See, wait a minute, I'll let you go. I'm going to let you eat. Hold on. How am I supposed to empower black people? What do y'all, black people want someone to hold y'all's hand.
So,
We're in crucial mode. This is crucial mode. This is what black people don't understand. This is our last stand. We're on our last leg. If we're boxing, we're wobbling. They're about to throw one punch and knock us down, and y'all out here talking about, please talk to me nice,
Are
please
you
Now
talk
the
to me
thing
okay?
like
about
You
that,
this.
say
that
We
that
don't got
even?
that
I
time.
really want to
There's
know,
been
like,
there's been a
are you okay?
leader who has came with us and has told us what we need to do. No one has the
You want to talk
time to
about
talk
black
to
people
y'all
are
nice
on their
no more.
last punch? You
Yeah,
know how
we need
many
to get our shit
times
together.
black people have been
Wait a minute, sister, it's
I
eating
not your
agree.
those
I
turn to
agree.
talk. Be
punches?
quiet. Let the real talk.
No,
It's not your
because
turn.
you've been
Leave,
talking and you've
sister,
been talking not.
leave. Leave, sister. If you
Hey,
don't want to follow the rules, leave.
hey,
Go ahead, the
let her
I
real.
get
don't
her shit
care.
off. Let her
Leave
talk.
then. Real,
No,
it's
I
the
want to
because
hear
you
real
what she
won't
has
let
turn
me
to
to say
talk.
speak.
too,
We're
because
not gonna
You
sometimes
do
have not
this.
let me
we don't.
We
speak.
okay, I told you we're not gonna do this. Go ahead,
You know
real.
what? Let her. Go ahead. I'm a. Well, she gone
No,
now.
she gone. Because we're not gonna do this. If people can't be quiet and let people talk, why be here? Go ahead, real.
She ain't even
Okay.
say nothing though. That's the crazy part.
Brother,
Well.
let
Well.
the real talk. Are you gonna leave too? Why what is so hard about this?
Tell her. Could you tell her? Hey, I have a favor, Bill. Could you tell her to re-request real quick? Because I wanted to address something that she said. But before I do that, I think we get caught up in delivery. I think just because something may sound harsh, we might not want to receive it or accept it, even though it's truthful. I don't care if you hurt my feelings. For me, it's better that you tell me the truth than just lie to me or tell me something that makes me feel good. And I think in our community, we have that habit. Because of the harsh delivery, you kind of attack the messenger as opposed to really looking at the message and what's being said. And people might criticize the host's delivery, but at the same time, it's the message that we really need to observe. So that's all I want to say.
My point to that, the delivery wasn't the main issue. It's the intent in the audience. It's like I don't think his intent is to talk to black people at all. It's to talk to white people to say, "Look, I'm not one of those." That's what I'm getting out of it.
Wait a minute, brother. Wait a minute, brother. What the hell do I care if white people accept me? In fact, I'm the most dangerous stuff together. Once we get our stuff together, it's on. It's
No,
on.
because you can have
But,
somebody like Malcolm X and you can have somebody like Clarence Thomas saying the same exact thing in a different way, but they talking to different people. Like
but
they
see,
have
go ahead, brother. My fault. Go ahead.
like 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 people would call Farrakhan left wing, but he's very conservative. But you could have him and Candace Owens saying the same exact thing, but they talking to two different people. And I feel like you more so on the Candace Owens type
Okay.
side of the thing.
But see, but you don't know who I am. You don't know who I am. So you're judging because you don't like what I'm saying. You don't like what I'm saying because you don't know who I am. And some people don't like the way Farrakhan talks to them. But y'all want someone, and y'all have to understand this. We're not in the time. We done had so many leaders come before us. It's no more time talking nice to black people. Black people want to be wanted to be, oh, this. I don't care. Y'all stuck up on what white people, oh, you want white people to like you. I don't care if they like me or not.
Oh, no, I'm the total opposite of that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like you doing like most of the comments, the people agreeing with you are white people. If you were talking
Okay,
like Farrakhan, saying the same thing, not in a nice way, they wouldn't agree with you. But it's
Farrakhan,
like I
brother,
don't.
have you ever been to the Nation of Islam?
No, I haven't.
Okay, then stop talking about Farrakhan because you don't know how Farrakhan talks.
That's what I'm saying. They don't agree with him for the most part. If he's empowering black people, he's saying the same shit you saying, but he's trying to empower black people and
How is
not
he
tear them
empowering
down.
black people? How is Farrakhan empowering black people?
He pretty much got all the same views you got, but he not saying it the way you
What's the
saying it.
difference? What's the difference? Because I could take you to tapes. I could show you speeches of Farrakhan talking
And
about black women.
It's to build black people up. It's
No,
not to tear them down.
you know
I
what it is,
listen, I
brother?
do
You know what
think
it
you
is? Hold
have a
on, sister.
point.
Hold on. You're gonna get to heat, sister. You know what it is, brother? It's because Farrakhan is famous. You can't accept if I was famous and I was saying what I was saying, no black person would care. But because
I'm
I'm
saying
not famous, because I'm just a little person who walks in, because black people love Charleston White, and Charleston White talks crazy to you. Black people love that man. That man talks crazy to black people. You love Charleston White. Obama, who told you he wasn't the president of black people, took his yellow behind down to the NAACP and told black people the same message that Bill Cosby told them. But they called Bill Cosby an elitist and they clapped and cheered for Obama. It was the same damn message. Black people are wrapped up into egos and personalities and they don't give a damn about the message. Black people don't give a damn about the message. Black people care more about your personality and who you are over what the hell you are saying. Because there's a lot of black people with positive messages talking to black people, but black people don't listen to them. But let some famous person, let Bootsy come out and tell you something. You feel like, oh, I think Bootsy was right on. But here you had someone like Charleston White. You know why Charleston White does what he does? Because when Charleston White was a nobody, and he was in Texas trying to work with the youth, nobody listened to him. But when Charleston White started getting famous and acting like an ass, everybody wanted to listen to him. So we kept going with it. But nobody wanted to listen to Charleston White when he was a youth advocate, when he was actually putting in
Absolutely.
work. But when he became an
Absolutely.
ass and was saying stupid shit all over the internet, oh, yeah, he's right on, right on. Black people work for message.
Absolutely. And I want to add something to that real quick. And I know the sister wanted to say something as well. So I'll be quick. Charleston White admitted it. He created a character so crazy and nuts to the point to where he made it a point to say things that were controversial in order to get people's attention. Because like you said, people were disagreeing with him early on when he was nobody. But as soon as he built his character and name and fame, started getting a lot of hits and shares on Say Cheese and TikTok, now everybody listens to what he says. So the host is right on point on that. And I know the lady wanted to say something, so I'll go ahead.
Hi, I do think that what you're trying to say, I do see your point. I do. But I want to kind of counter this with the fact that, everything has context and you got to look at like the history that this country has with black people and the relationship that has been built. So for you to kind of just say like, I do agree. It's like, at what point do we stop? At what point do we like stand up and empower ourselves and stop trying to just be like, y'all did this to us, y'all did that to us. And all those things are true. They did oppress us in many for centuries, in fact. But like, I want to know how you saying this helps. And also, like, I hope that you have some kind of relationship with a black community near you so that you could see that there are a lot of, and for the most part, it is like black people trying to uplift black people. It very much is. People are out there every single day doing like the hard goddamn work and trying to, like, it's very much conservative talking points. And all the stuff that you're saying, it's like, okay, but did you know that there are people trying to end that shit? And when people point out racism or when people point out all these other things, it's not that, oh, damn, like, I understand the frustration. I do. I really do. But it's like, it's got to be, both things can be true, right? Both things can be true at the same time. It can be that, learned helplessness and like, I agree there. Two things can be true at the same time. It doesn't change the fact that there is so much oppression that is racial, that is in our laws and in our society, like to this damn day. And people pointing that out doesn't make them a victim. It doesn't make them. Yeah.
Wait a minute, sister. Hold on. You can ask a question to me. Wait a minute, sister. Two things significantly happened this month. Now I'm going to tell you what there was. There was a fight at the Montgomery waterfront. And
That's
there was
the
a
only
black
two
woman.
things that you think
No,
happened.
no. I'm giving you an example. Please wait. And there was a black woman who cured cancer, who had a cure for cancer. Which one do you think black people celebrated?
Both can be celebrated.
But one wasn't celebrated, sister. One wasn't celebrated, and
But you
one should
can't
have been.
be mad about society for like being
But sister,
sensationalized and
who
paying
am I to
attention
be
to a
mad at?
stupid
It's
ass
black people
video.
doing it. When black people talk about negative rap, when black people talk about negativity in the black community, it's the negativity that black people produce. It's the negativity that black people want. Because
What was
this brother
negative
right
about
here,
that
wait a minute,
video?
sister,
I want
please,
to
sister,
know.
I let you talk. I
No, I'm
let you talk
curious.
and I
What
didn't
was negative
interrupt
about
you.
that video?
Sister, I did not interrupt you.
But I didn't. I'm not
Sister, I
interrupting
did not
you. I'm
interrupt you
not
when you
interrupting you.
talked.
I just asked you a
Sister,
question.
sister, I did not interrupt you.
I'm not interrupting you. I
Please
wanted to.
let
I'm
me finish.
asking you what was negative
Oh,
about that video.
let me finish. The brother down here, the real, he has a Wealth Wednesday. And he has told me on many occasions that his live only gets, what is it, real, 10 to 15 people?
Not even that.
Not even
Yeah,
that.
not even
But you can get
not
a
even that.
live. Whether it's a man bashing women, or it's a woman bashing women, men, or it's a black men in prison, it's just some bullshit, some egotistical shit. Those lives have thousands of people. And I can bear witness that I have seen
I
lives on
know,
here teaching black people about how to build wealth. And
but
those
that's
lives
an
have 5 to 10
algorithm thing.
people
You
in them.
can't blame
But you
that on
can
the
have a
black
live.
community.
You can have a
Mm-mm.
live. No, brother, sister, half of us don't even have fucking life insurance.
I agree. These things need to be addressed, but like you can't be like, oh, like for an algorithm though, like that's not his
But
fault.
let's keep it a buck
It's
though. Let's
just the
keep it a buck though.
algorithm.
No,
Let's keep it
sister,
a buck.
it's the
Algorithm
negativity, sister.
aside.
Wait a minute, hold on, brother. It's the negativity. When we went to see Black Panther, we said, oh, it's good to see black people shown in a different light. It's good to see us not shown as drug dealers and pimps and prostitutes. Then we ran back to Power. The number one show in America right now is Power. What
I've
we
never watched the episode,
Okay,
so
so
I
that's
don't
you.
know.
That's you. The black people, we're crying, oh, white supremacy. We have a $1 trillion spending power. 1 trillion. But what are we doing with that spending power? And we want to
I
blame white
agree.
people.
This
If
is
you could
no, it's
show me
true.
the law, if you could show me the law where white people made that said that black people cannot do anything for themselves, I'll show
Well, okay, this is a very, very, very with you. Okay, all right, 1 point whatever trillion spending power. Yes, we have wealth. It's not like I'm not contesting that. But what happens when every single community, first of all, is not like
them.
okay with you opening up businesses? The banks don't want to lend you money. Like these are all codified. Like this is not like
I'm gonna tell you a secret. I'm gonna
and
tell
you
you a
know what?
secret.
Honestly,
You
I'm
know what?
happy that there are, and like I'm not trying to come at him. I'm sad that he doesn't get the lot, like the audience that he should be getting, and we should be uplifting these things. But ultimately, you can't blame black people for that. It's called the algorithm, bro. Like it's not.
Well, let
It's
me keep it real. Come on, hold on, can I
that's
say something?
crazy.
So
Go
let me
ahead,
keep.
real. It's your turn. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me keep it a buck. So, like I said earlier, we tend to focus on negativity a lot, way more than positivity. How do we know this? All you have to do, right, is go to YouTube and see what videos and what content are viewed more. Are things that are related to maybe black business and entrepreneurship viewed more? Or maybe let's say Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion or City Girls, maybe something like them is maybe uplifted more. What has more views? What do people pay attention to a lot more? All you really have to do is go to the comment section and the like section of any type of video on social media, right? It's there for a reason. So that people can, or that a lot of these companies use that data and information, because I used to do IT, as a way to figure out what people like, what people are talking about, so they can figure out ways to market to them. And unfortunately, again, many people within our community, hell, even society in general, tend to focus on negativity a lot more than they do positivity. That's just what that is. But as far as what you said in regards to banking, I'm going to tell you a secret on that. Banks are, they're not just going to deny somebody, even though this did happen historically. In
Not just
2023, they're not
historically, very
necessarily.
recently. No, they
Sister,
are.
can you
Wells
let him
Fargo
Hold on,
talk?
just got
Sister,
sued,
hold on,
didn't
sister,
sister.
no
they?
one
Let him
interrupted you. Let him
I'm
talk.
not interrupting him, but I think
You
that's
are
incorrect.
interrupting
Wells
him, but
Fargo
you're not. You
literally
are
just got,
interrupting
but
him.
Wells Fargo literally just
Sister,
got
you're
sued.
gonna have a chance to rebuttal. Let him
I
talk.
don't, but no, but I want to
I got you.
correct him. It's
No,
true.
sister, you
Wells
can't
No, no,
Fargo
no, no.
correct
just
him.
got
He has the
sued.
So
right to talk.
Okay. Wells Fargo just got sued.
I got you.
Sister, when you get a
I
chance
got
to
you. I
talk,
got you.
bring that up.
I got you. I got you. First of all, that did happen, but Wells Fargo didn't get away with it because they paid a huge, hefty fine. You can go look that up. That's one. Two, you have thousands of branches. That's one out of thousands of branches. I guarantee you, every single branch is not looking to discriminate. Banks in a capitalistic society are looking to do one thing and one thing only. If you're going to make them money, right, they're going to loan you all the money in the world. I know entrepreneurs who are black women. I know a woman, a black woman now, who's a multimillionaire with her own salon. She has no problem getting a loan from a bank. Why? Because she has assets and she has a business that's very profitable and she has impeccable credit. Her credit's like in the 800s. So if you're a person in today's society who can be in a position to make a bank money or financial institution money, they're going to give you the money. There is no way around it. They will do it. So that's all I want to say on that.
And then look at this point. Hold on, sister, before you come off mute. Look at this point. You have $1.8 trillion spending power. You don't need a bank. We can capture that spending power. If we could capture half of that spending power, we can build for ourselves. But we don't do that because we're focusing on the negativity of like so many among us as black people. But if we as black people could capture half of that $1.8 trillion spending power, we could build our own communities. We could build our own banks. We not banks, but credit unions. We could start an insurance company. Do you know what banks do? And I'll tell y'all this. If you email me, I will send you a book called Life Insurance and Building Wealth. And do you know when Obama bailed out the banks, the banks had billions of dollars in reserve. If a bank takes your money, gives you less than pennies on the dollar, they take your money and they go invest it with insurance companies, and the insurance company gives them a large return. When Obama bailed out the banks, Bank of America had like $26 billion on hand. See, we could build our own insurance company and then start our own credit union. And then we could use our credit union. The insurance company is the anchor of our community. And we could use our credit union to start building among ourselves. But all we focus on is what white people won't let us do. That's all we focus on. What white people won't let us do. White people, they burned down Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So
So
you
what?
agree that when black people did try to do this, they were met with vile, like crazy violence and racism? Like,
Sister, can I ask you a
when
question
did
though?
they?
Can I ask you a question? Do you
Yeah,
know who BC Franklin is?
my love, you're not even answering my question though.
But I'm
I
just asking
said,
you
do
a
you
question. But
agree? So you agree
no, I
when
don't
black
agree. I don't
people,
agree. But can I ask you a question?
you just said,
I
so
don't agree
when
with
black
that.
people did do what you're discussing,
But I need
what
to ask you a
happened?
question. I need to
What
ask you a
happened?
question.
All right.
Do you know who BC Franklin is?
I really
Yes
wish
or
that
no,
you would
sister? Do
just
you know who
admit.
BC Franklin
I
is?
wish you would just admit what you just said. You were
Sister,
like,
do you
well,
know
when we
who BC?
did try. So when people did
Sister,
try,
sister, in 1920, Tulsa, Oklahoma did get burned down, but it didn't get burned down the way y'all think it got burned down. And I don't want to talk about that. But from 1920 to 1930, a man named B.C. Franklin, who was a lawyer, B.C. Franklin was a lawyer, and he fought to keep Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, which was really known as Little Africa, out of the hands of white people. And in 1930, the justice system decided that the Black Wall Street belongs to black people. They rebuilt Black Wall Street in 1930. In 1930 to 1960, Black Wall Street, Little Africa, thrived. You know what destroyed Black Wall Street?
pretty sure
Desegregation and
it
civil
was
rights.
a violent race.
No, it was
No, that's what like
desegregation and
I
it was
think it's
civil
in
rights.
history.
No,
Sister, go look
no,
up
no,
B.C.
no, no,
Franklin.
no.
Go look up B.C. Franklin.
Now he's
The
right.
greatest
Can I say?
transfer. Hold on one second. The greatest transference of wealth was the civil rights movement. We lost everything. We gave up
I
everything in
agree.
the civil rights movement. Before the civil rights movement, we cut poverty in half. We cut it in half. To get to the civil rights movement, for someone to tell us, y'all want to be integrated with white people, give up everything you got to go over and live with white people. We gave up everything. We had ownership of everything. Go listen to Dr. Claude Anderson's Breakfast Club interview. He'll
I
tell
don't
you a story how they came to his town in North Carolina and asked them, "Where is your buses?" And they said, "We own our own buses." And they said, "No, no, no, we don't need those buses. We need the buses that we can integrate." Dr. Claude Anderson he talked about how stupid it was for us to be fighting for integration instead of ownership. So the civil rights movement was the worst thing that ever happened to black people.
Wow. Okay. I don't even know what to say to that. You guys can speak because that is the craziest sentence I've ever heard.
Because you don't know what you're
The,
talking about. That was the worstest thing that ever happened to black people. We
all
gave
right.
up everything.
Okay.
We gave up all our businesses
I
to
thought you
even
had just
Martin
said
Luther King.
earlier that the last time we
Even
had real
Martin Luther
leaders
King
was in
said,
the civil rights era.
Martin Luther King
I thought you
said,
had just said that's the last time we had real leaders, and now it's the worst thing that ever happened
no,
to us.
I never said the civil rights movement was the last time we had real leaders. That would discredit, if I would say that,
That
that
is
would
literally
discredit
what you
Fred
just said.
Hampton. That would discredit Fred Hampton. That would discredit Huey P. Newton. That would discredit Louis Farrakhan. That would discredit Khalid Muhammad. That was not the last time we had real leaders.
Baby, you
I
just
said that
said
was
that. You just said that
I
earlier.
never said that, sister. I
Okay.
never said that. I never said that. I said that was the greatest transference of wealth. That was the worst thing that we ever
I'm
did.
not
And even
talking about what you just said now. You said earlier that the
sister, I
last
don't know what
time
the
the
hell you're
black
talking about.
community had real leaders was.
I never said that, sister. I
Okay.
never said that.
All right, then I misheard.
Okay, then you misheard. But sister, even Martin Luther King said, "I feel like I have integrated my people into a burning house." That's what he said. Martin Luther King said, "I feel like I've integrated my people into a burning house." Because even Martin Luther King seen that once we integrated, that we was better off being separated because white people was just as poor as we were. That's why he changed his message from integration to talking about getting a check. Because he seen that we was just as like when we were saying we should overcome, when we overcome to come over, all we seen was poor white people. And he was like, "Wait a minute, what the hell is this? What that's the white people that y'all keep complaining about are this."
Again, two things can be true at the same
Sister, how old
time.
are you? How old are you, sister?
How old are you?
I'm 50. How old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay, sister, you ain't been through shit in your life. You ain't never even experienced racism.
Okay, that's
Sister, have
fine.
you
I'm
ever
not
had to go,
telling you about your life, but
sister,
you
have
could tell
you
me
ever
about
had to
mine
go
and
to
what I've
school?
experienced. That's fine.
Sister, have you ever had to go to school with the KKK on two buses from your black neighborhood? And you had to go to school with the KKK in front of your school? And this is not 1965. This is not
Listen,
1968.
I thank
This is
God
not, wait
every
a minute, sister,
day. I
please
thank
be
God every
quiet.
day. I
Be
thank God
quiet,
every
sister.
day.
Sister, be
Why? I
quiet.
answered your question. You asked me a
Be
question.
quiet because you won't know what I'm saying. Sister, this is 1980. 1980, when they said we're equal. When they flunk you in the first grade because they say when they flunk you in the first grade because they say the schooling, they admit it out of their own mouth. They say, well, the black people in the black neighborhoods, they're not getting a quality education. But the whole city is supposed to be getting the same education. But they flunked the black people because they said, y'all not getting the same education as the white people in the suburbs. So y'all got to go repeat the first grade. Okay, that's racism right there because basically they telling you, yeah, we're not trying to teach y'all. We don't teach y'all in the ghetto. We just let y'all go to school. So when y'all want to come out here and be with these white kids, we got to set y'all back so you can catch up with them. So then they bus you, and you have to be on that bus by 3 o'clock, because if you caught in that neighborhood where the school is, no telling what would happen to you. Have you ever been on the highway and the bus driver starts calling out names? The bus driver immediately gets off the highway, gets back on the highway, and goes back to the school and asks the teachers, where is so and so? Have you ever did that? Have you ever been in a school where you can't participate in after school programs because you can't be in that neighborhood after dark? If you're caught in that neighborhood after dark, no telling what's going to happen to you. Have you ever did that, sister? See, y'all talk about racism, but y'all ain't experienced real racism. That's the racism I grew up with in 1980. I couldn't go, I had to be bused from my neighborhood to a white people's neighborhood, and where they told me I was stupid. They told me in my face I was stupid, and we got to take you from the first grade. We can't put you in the second grade. We got to put you in the first grade because you got to relearn everything you learned in your ghetto ass school. And when you trying to get to this school, the Ku Klux Klan is on the neighborhood, is on the street corner saying, N-word, go home. N-word, go home. Dorky, go home. We will lynch you. And
Can
then
I
you
ask you something?
can't even stay after school, because if you stay after school, something might happen to you. So you had 2 buses of black kids coming from the ghetto every day to the white suburbs. And then you listen to black kids tell you about racism and why they can't achieve. And you like, well, I achieved under those circumstances. Why the hell you can't achieve under these circumstances?
I won't belittle your experience, and I'm not going to sit here
Because
and
you
tell you
can't, because you never
you're
experienced
the
it,
no,
because
but
you
okay, but
you
can I
because
say
you ain't
something? You
experienced
said I've never
racism.
experienced
You
racism,
haven't.
period.
Y'all haven't. Y'all making
But
this
this is
shit
not
up.
a oppression Olympics, bro. This is not
It's
the
not.
fucking oppression off. Like, I'm so sorry that you went through what you went through, but for you to say, I've never experienced racism,
You
I don't know
haven't,
what
sister.
racism is,
Because y'all
just
make this
because
shit
what I
up.
went through isn't as extreme as what you went through. I still went through, bro. Like, I literally had to
Go through,
fight
sister. Give us a
with the
story.
Confederate
What?
flag.
Give
I
us
live in
what
a
you went
city
through.
that didn't even fight for the Confederacy. I live in a town that didn't even do all that. And I literally had a guy with a Confederate flag on the back of his truck try to run me
Oh, that's
over
really
and call me
racism.
the N word. Wow,
Oh,
like
that's
you
really
think you won
racism.
because you called I got called
Sister,
the N word too. Relax. Like
well,
I'm
sister,
sorry you're
getting
older
called,
than me,
what, bro,
but
sister,
for you to
sister, can I,
belittle and say that
sister,
I don't know what I'm talking about
sister,
because that's
can I give
fucking
you a line
crazy.
from Goody Mob? Can I give you a line from Goody Mob? This is what Goody Mob say. When they call me into my face, can't do nothing but walk away. Because here it is, ends call ends each and every other day. Y'all out here calling each other's ends. When I was growing up, the N-word wasn't heard. Nobody said the N-word. And y'all letting, if you cool with white people, they can say the N-word. Hispanics can say the N-word. You didn't say the N-word when I was growing up. If the N-word was immediately a fight. If you said the N-word, it was immediately a fight. We didn't call each other the N-word. If someone said the N-word, we was immediately fighting. But y'all call each other the N-word every day. So why do you care that someone else calls you the N-word? You call each other the damn N-word. So what's the problem? You say it to each other. So why you upset because some white person says it? It's all over your damn music. All in your music, you're calling each other the N-word. You're talking about killing N people. What the hell are y'all getting upset because someone else calls you the
But I
N-word?
thought
You
that
call
you just
yourself
said
the
people
N-word?
called you that word growing up and it was hateful and it hurt you and it was racism and it was evil. But now you're like, I don't understand. I feel like you're contradicting yourself. I really
Your
do.
generation is contradiction itself. Your generation wants to talk about someone called me the N-word, but the music you dance to is saying the N-word all the
So
time.
now
So
it's
what's the problem?
generational? Okay.
What's the
Can I say
problem?
something? Can I say something?
Go ahead.
So, I mean, I'll sum it up. I think put it like this. I will say this. Does racism exist still? Yes. I would say yes. However, I think that in 2023, what we call racism or what we refer to as racism is definitely not on the same level as it was in 1965 or in the 1920s or post-slavery or segregation, Jim Crow, the whole 9 yards. It's a whole totally different level. I don't think that we're oppressed in the sense that we don't have control of our own destiny. I think people of color nowadays, we have access to be able to build generational wealth, and we have an ability to be able to create our own destiny. And I believe this strongly. I think there's a reason why African American women are among the most educated demographic. It's because, they work hard, they bust their ass, and they're able to put themselves in the position to be successful. I recently just found out that you had the youngest judge ever in history was a black woman. Her name is Jasmine Tweedy. I think she's in Michigan or something. So, you have a lot of people of color who strive and achieve, and there's really nothing that's standing in their way to be able to do that. And I think sometimes what happens is that we focus on the past a lot, and I think as a result of that, it keeps us from moving forward. You know what I mean? And of course, if there's racism, if there's issues, yes, talk about it for sure. But at the same time, I think we harp on the past a little bit too much, and it affects our growth going forward. That's just me.
I'll be honest with you. Black people hold yourself back. There's no one holding you back. We hold ourselves back. All you got to do to be successful is put go achieve. Stop talking about what white people are doing. You so worried about what white people do that you ain't we're chained up in the fact that white people do this, white people do that. Who cares what they do? What the hell are we doing? What are we doing? We have to do for ourselves. And y'all talk about y'all like Malcolm. Y'all talk about y'all like Malcolm. The reason you like Malcolm because Malcolm isn't here. Because if Malcolm was here, Malcolm would be talking to you just as rough as I'm talking to you. Because Malcolm, the real Malcolm, if you know people who in the Nation of Islam who knows Malcolm, Malcolm wasn't the nice guy that you make him out
He
to.
wasn't even Nation of Islam. He was Nation of Islam briefly. He literally converted, but okay.
Are you out
I
of your
would
damn
say
mind, sister? You 28 years. Hold on, brother. You
I
28
know, because
years.
I'm Sunni Muslim. He literally converted. Are you okay? Like, he
Malcolm was
literally said the Nation of Islam
sister,
is a scam. He went to
sister.
Hajj. He literally said, this guy's crazy. I'm
Malcolm
Sunni
was
Muslim.
sister. Please
He
stop.
was
Please
Nation
stop.
of Islam in the beginning, but he converted. This is
Sister,
facts. Look it
Malcolm
up.
got
that's
famous.
facts.
Sister. Malcolm,
I'm not talking
yeah.
about how he got famous. I'm talking about him and his beliefs.
Okay,
He's not Nation of
sister. Can
Islam.
you please be quiet? Can you please be quiet?
I'll
Because
shut
you
up,
don't
but
know.
don't be fucking out here lying on him.
I'm
He's a
not gonna
Muslim
lie.
man. He's
I'm
not
not gonna
Nation of
lie.
Islam. He's a
Malcolm was a
Muslim man.
liar. Malcolm was a liar. Malcolm talked about he
Oh,
went to. Can you be quiet and listen to the story? Because I'm not just someone talking. I'm not someone just talking, okay? I know the story. I was there. Not with Malcolm, but I was in the Nation of Islam. I know the story. I know people who actually know Malcolm X. Malcolm X, he went to Mecca. He said he went to Mecca in 1960. He said when he went to Mecca, he seen brotherhood of spend a man in 1959 with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad because he went to Mecca in 1959 to prepare for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to go to Mecca. So he's seen in 1959 when he went to Mecca, he's seen all different colors of Muslims. 1959, Elijah Muhammad went to Mecca. Elijah Muhammad seen all different colors of Muslims. But why in 1962, when he goes to Mecca, he starts talking about, I see this brotherhood of Mecca. And we all know the most racist people, one of the most racist people on the face of the earth is the Arabs, because we talk about the Atlantic slave trade. We talk
my
about the
brother, I
white
grew up in
people.
Kuwait.
Be
Don't try to tell
quiet,
me about
sister.
Arabs. I grew up
Okay.
there. Calm down.
Okay, shut up, sister. We
You
talk
shut up.
about the Atlantic. We talk about what the white people did, but the white people wouldn't have been able to do what they would did if it wasn't for the Arabs running into Africa, enslaving the black people first. How do you think we became Muslims? How do you think the northern part of Africa is Islam? Because the Arabs came in first. The Arab slave trade was worse than the Atlantic slave trade. They used to castrate black people. They're enslaving black people in Libya right now. So what the hell is Malcolm talk? What the hell was Malcolm talking about? What was Malcolm talking about was Malcolm needed a place in the civil rights movement. So and people don't realize this. Ask any member of the Nation of Islam. Malcolm X was writing letters to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to get back into the Nation of Islam. Malcolm X wanted to be part of the Nation of Islam. Malcolm X,
No, he
when
didn't.
he
Don't
went
lie
to
on that
Mecca, he
man.
was trying to he was trying to get his place in the civil rights movement. So Malcolm X and Martin Luther King flip-flop positions because stage of Malcolm sounds like Martin Luther King. But if you look at the later stages of Martin Luther King, he sounds like Malcolm X. They was flip-flop positions. When Malcolm X converted to what you call Sunni Islam, he was worthless to black
It's
people.
not what I call, it is what it
Okay, so
is.
you saying the Nation of Islam is not real Islam, correct?
Absolutely not. You guys literally worship Elijah. Like that guy
Oh, we
is,
don't
it's
worship
fraud. It's a
Elijah.
scam.
We don't worship
It's a
Elijah.
scam. Yeah, y'all do.
Okay, well,
That's why
are
he
you
left.
black,
It's a
sister?
scam.
Sister, are you black?
I am.
Okay,
And
if it
it's a
was
scam.
not for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, if it was not
Ew.
for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the early
That man
members of
was
the Nation of
insane.
Islam, you would
That's
not be
called a
able to be
cult.
a Muslim in America.
Baby, that's
You,
a cult.
you a fucking cult. Y'all worship a fucking pedophile.
Look at
Prophet
that. We
is a
don't.
pedophile.
Here we
Prophet
go.
Muhammad,
Islamophobia. Let's
sister.
go.
Prophet Muhammad
Let's
Oh
didn't
no,
marry a
go.
let's not get
7-year-old.
Let's go.
religion.
Nope.
No, we're
It's
gonna
Wait,
go
okay.
wait,
there.
wait, wait, wait.
We're gonna go there. Prophet Muhammad
Go.
didn't marry a 7-year-old.
You gonna tell me about my
Sister, answer the
religion,
question.
my
Sister,
brother. You're
answer the
not gonna do
question.
that.
Prophet
You're not gonna
Muhammad
tell
didn't
me
marry a
about my
7-year-old.
religion.
Sister,
I'm
did
out. You
Prophet
fucking
Muhammad
crazy,
marry a
bro.
7-year-old?
He did
Answer the
not. It was
question.
a political marriage at that point, actually, and he did not consummate that marriage until she was 19. So
No,
please get
he
another talking
constituted
to.
that marriage when she was
No, he
9.
consummated that
She
marriage when
constituted
she
that
was
marriage when she
19.
was
Do you know
9
what
years old. Sister, you
consummation
a
means?
damn
You
liar.
don't.
Get off my
I'm
show.
not a liar.
Get off
You're
of my show.
literally
You a damn liar. You a damn liar. Everybody knows she constituted that marriage when she was 9 years
Uh,
old. You a damn liar.
it just
Look
took a
at
religious debate turn.
no,
Oh
because
man.
I don't want to make it a religious debate, but all of them people from the Arabs, from the
Nah,
Middle East, they want to talk bad about the Nation of Islam. And when they come over here, they creating Shrek, means disbelief because they selling black people pork, respecting black people, but you can't sell alcohol and pork in their neighborhoods. But they could come over to black people and sell us alcohol and pork and disrespect our women, and then they want to turn around and say, we're not real Islam. Get the hell out of here.
Mm.
She don't even know her own
Oh
history. That man
man.
married a 7-year-old and went into it.
that's not true though.
What's not
But
true? What's not
hey,
true?
she won 7.
She was 7. You a damn
No,
lie. You get the fuck off too.
of course she
Get the
was.
fuck off. I don't got time to deal with y'all. She was 7. Coming up here defending a damn pedophile.
Yeah, man. It's very interesting times, my friend. Whew. Yeah, there's a couple of things. Yeah, age that she said she was 9. Oh snap.
She was 7. She was
Yeah,
7
man.
and he went into her when she was 9. They don't
Oh
want
my
to. They
God.
don't want to. They don't want to admit their own religion.
Yeah, that's very interesting. That is very. I've heard that before. I don't even want to get into that at this point. But yeah, religious debates they're always fun. I try to
No, it's
avoid
not
them
that
if I
it's
can.
always fun. You got people like her. See, this is the problem. I don't represent no religion, but you can't. These people who represent these religions are brainwashed. You want to take a religion of the slave maker. We don't want to talk about the Arabic slave trade. We don't want to talk about the Arabic slave trade. We always want to talk about what the white man did. But if it wasn't for if it wasn't for the Arabic slave trade, the white man would have never been able to come in and do what they did in Africa. So you got these Muslims, these Islam and black people who join that BS. They don't want to talk about what they did. They don't talk about that. That's why in Sudan you have the black Muslims enslaving the black Christians. That's why Somalia is Muslims. That's the whole northern Africa is Muslims because the Muslims ran from the Middle East, what the Middle East, and conquered the northern part of Africa. That's why the Middle East is what it was. The Middle East was really black people. The Middle East was black people, but they came from their land and they conquered the Middle East and northern Africa. But we don't want to study history because I follow Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad was going around with a sword and enslaving black people in Africa.
So everything you saying might be true, right? So can I ask
It
this
ain't true.
question?
Ain't no might about it. Go study it, brother.
Why
It's
why
true.
why can't we point fingers at the Christian people and the Muslim people? The Christians of the day that still have our people in captives today. Why we can't point fingers at both of them? You want to just point fingers at one of them?
No, no, no,
Or
no,
can
sir,
we?
brother. No, sir, brother. I don't give a damn about neither of them. But we point more fingers at the Christian people than we do the Muslim people because this is the trap we done fell in. This whole people of color thing. Now they want to be people of color. Oh, we're people of color. But you wasn't out there. It wasn't people of color getting their asses beat in the street. I didn't
Right.
see you in the streets getting your ass beat in the 1960s. I didn't see your ass getting lynched. I didn't see your ass getting your house burned. But now all of a sudden we people of color. But when it comes to we all people of color, why don't you do something for our neighborhood? No, brother, me not black. They set out these
Right.
people look for our neighborhoods. These people search out our neighborhoods to open up shop and to take our money. But then when they get in trouble, we're people of color. We're people of color. We're all one people. We ain't all you don't like that I don't like you because if we're people of color, you would teach me about Islam. When you go into the liquor store, how many of them teach you about Islam? How many of them talk to you about Islam? In the Quran, it said, "Want for your brother what you want for yourself." How you selling your brother alcohol, cigarettes, pork, and you can't even eat it? You ain't supposed to
You
have
know what's
alcohol. You ain't supposed to smoke cigarettes. You ain't supposed to smell pork. When in Oakland, California, one of their shops was selling what's that synthetic marijuana to black kids. But they talking about we're Muslim Islam. Islam is the religion. Well, you ain't practicing it. You selling fucking synthetic marijuana to kids. You selling alcohol every day to black people. You selling pork every day to black people, but Islam is the way. Get the hell out of here.
You know what? I want to comment on that just really quickly. My cousin is a Muslim, and we actually had this discussion about how you have people who are of the Muslim faith, who are Arabs, who set up shop and come to the United States, but yet they're selling alcohol. And that's something I never really understood. It's like, well, in your religion, you can't eat pork and it's not permissible to drink alcohol, but meanwhile, you're selling it. Make that make sense. I never really understood that. I never understood that.
Because it's trick. In fact, go ask any Muslim what the Prophet Muhammad said. Prophet Muhammad said he seen the footsteps of Bilal, who was a black man, going into heaven before he seen the footsteps of his own people. So when they say the reason they don't like the Nation of Islam, and I'm not a member of the Nation of Islam, the reason they don't like the Nation of Islam, how do you see them dressed? You'll see their women dressed with a tight ass pants. What's the purpose of covering your hair when I can see your damn underwear? What's the purpose in that? I can see your damn underwear. I can see your breast, but you got your hair covered. What's the purpose in it? That's not that you're supposed to be modest in dress. They don't like the Nation of Islam because the Nation of Islam is a direct contradiction to the Islam they're practicing. They can come over here and do whatever the hell they want to do. They can come over here and do whatever the hell they want to do. But in their own countries, they can't do that. In their own countries, you won't see women walking around with a hijab and some tight ass pants on. You won't see women with a hijab and some what's those shorts? All the shorts, those tight ass pants. The women, those leggings. You won't see that. But they can come over here and they can dress like that. They can come over here and the men can drink and smoke and do whatever the hell they want to. But because the Nation of Islam is holding up Islam, the Nation of Islam is not real Islam. It's not real Islam. They more realer than you. They more realer than you. You over here with your damn ass hanging out with a hajib talking about real Islam. When in the Holy Quran, and then they'll even tell you the Holy Quran was written by man. What the hell is you talking about? That's your book. You're supposed to follow your book, but they won't follow their book because most of them people who call themselves Muslims leave their countries so they can do whatever they want to do in America. The Bible even tells you about America. The Bible says America has came of. It's the Bible says, and I don't believe in the Bible, but I believe this part. It says, "Come out of her, my people, unless you partake of her sins, because it has came an inhabitant of every foul and unclean bird." Everybody comes to America. They came shit. They come to America so they can do the shit. You can't do the shit in their countries. You can't
I
sell alcohol and pork in their countries. So why do you come to America and sell alcohol and pork? Why do you come to America and walk around in tight ass pants? You can't
Mhm.
do it in your country.
Yeah, this is what we call the hypocrites. I think religion in principle is not a bad thing. If you're actually adhering to true principles of Christ and Muhammad and you're living a righteous lifestyle, you believe in maybe the traditional family framework, you believe in giving charity, you're honoring God with all your heart, you love your neighbor, you feed the homeless, and you do those basic things, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think religion in principle is not a bad thing. However, I think religion has been misused by the people and the establishment who control a lot of the religious organizations. Because let's be clear, what the sad part is that you have within Christianity and some sects of religions, you have what I call poor representation. You have people within the church who they don't really care about teaching the true word of Christ. They're more so in the position that they want to make money. So they're using their constituency as a way to come up. You've seen the video with, I think his name is Kenneth Copeland, where he was confronted by this reporter from Inside Edition, where they were stating that he was uh, spending huge sums of money to buy a jet, and he had this like demonic look on his face. You guys remember that in the chat? I'm pretty sure you remember it too, Hope. So, unfortunately, the leadership in a lot of these religious institutions has given Christians a bad name. I believe that a lot of Christians are good people. I really, truly do believe that. True Christians, I'm talking about. Unfortunately, the representation, they're all about money. That's why you see a lot of these religious institutions in poor neighborhoods. How do you have this like $10 million structure in a neighborhood that's poor? Why is it that in all these poor neighborhoods there's like a church on every freaking corner? You know what I mean? You're not teaching the true word of Christ, right? You're using these people as a come up to fund your extravagant lifestyle by living in a big house and buying a jet and doing all this stuff. You don't care about the people. You're using the people.
So
Exactly.
are y'all both admitting that that's a wing of the white tea supremacy to
No,
teach them?
Oh no 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 no
no.
no! You got no man.
It's
You
not
have
if the
brothers who
white
look
tea
like me.
supremacists went across the world teaching brown
Oh,
and black people all this stuff, and they still doing it today. That's not a wing of white supremacy.
but no, I can't blame white supremacy for that. When you have brothers who look like us who say tithe to this church, brother, and thou shalt
Exactly.
be fed.
But they are
Tithe. See,
perpetuating it. They're adding on to the system. They're working
but
for
no, I
white
can't
supremacy.
blame. But it's not for white supremacy. I don't like saying that in this context because you're taking away responsibility from these people like a TD Fakes or Creep Show Dollar or these people who don't care and all they want is just money. So I can't blame white supremacy for that. I have to hold these people accountable for their actions. The
No,
leadership.
you can't blame white supremacy. That's what I'm saying. You can't. Shit, sorry. You can't blame white people when black people are knowingly doing it. It would be different. It would be white supremacy if you was doing it unknowingly. But you have black people knowingly doing, but knowingly doing what they're doing. So you can't blame white supremacy.
So it sounds like if people were on the plantation and it was that one guy who's telling the master, look, they planning to escape, it's like you'll defend the white people, like they put that guy in that position. Of course, he should be held accountable for his actions and snitching and turning on his people. But it's because of white supremacy.
No, it's because of him. Because you can't blame white
He gets
supremacy when you're the
incentives,
one carrying out white
but
supremacy.
he gets incentives
So
for it.
exactly, because he's making a decision. If he was not doing it, he understands, okay, if I turn in like Morris Brown turned in Denmark Divisie. Morris Brown understood, and we have a college named Morris Brown. Morris Brown understood, if I turn in these Negroes, I can get something out of this. So it wasn't white supremacy. White supremacy would be if he didn't benefit from it. But he benefited from it. He made a choice. White supremacy is something that you don't have a choice in. That's what black people don't understand. We can't blame white supremacy when we making a conscientious choice to do it. Like people say, I sold drugs. It's the white man's fault. Well, you made a conscientious decision to
Mm-hmm.
sell drugs. So you can't blame white supremacy because you had a choice to not partake in it and you had a choice to partake in it. So you decided you wanted to partake in it.
Yeah.
So we can't blame white supremacy. We got to blame you.
Yep, he's not working with other white people. It's him. It's them. They know what they're doing. It's all about money for these people. Tupac called them out a long time ago. You remember the video?
Yeah, and that's our problem. We won't allow people to hide behind white supremacy for the decisions they're making. And we got to start calling out these black sellouts. These black people who are selling us out, making conscientious decisions, knowing that if they do something, they're going to get something that benefits them. We got to start calling them out.
So do you call
Every
out?
single time.
Do, yeah. Do you call her out?
Yeah, Candace
Why?
Owens should be called out because Candace Owens, it's not what Candace Owens is saying. It's not what she's saying. It's you're talking about black people and you can't even make black people. You married a white man.
You know what?
If you care
You know
so
what's
much
bugged
about
out,
black
brother?
people, you would have married one. Well, why didn't you marry one? And now you got the
You know what's
nerve. And Candace Owens, wait a minute, brother. Candace Owens, people don't know this about Candace Owens. Candace Owens was when she was in high school, she was a victim of racism. And she got the what is the AAMCP, whatever the fuck they call themselves, and they defended her. And now you're gonna turn your back on black people because what Candace Owens is doing, what Candace Owens is saying, you always got to look at the motive behind what people are saying. Candace Owens' motive, you might be talking the same thing as Farrakhan and someone like me, but what's your motive? What's your motive for it? You don't have no stake in it. What's your motive behind what you're saying? Candace Owens' motive is about making money. Her motive, she don't care about black people. If you cared about black people, you would have made one.
And that's my point. She's working for white supremacy because she get incentives. If she gets incentives from people, the white people. She don't talk to us. She goes and talks
can
to
I
groups of white people and gets paid to bash black people. That's white
No, but you
supremacy.
can
can't
I
blame
answer
I
that?
white
don't know. I
supremacy.
have an opinion on
Wait,
that.
hold on one second. You can't blame white supremacy because Candace Owens is making a decision to do it. She's making a decision. So you can't blame white supremacy. You got to blame her because she understood. She understands that, hey, like Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels started bashing men. There was no money in bashing men. But as soon as he started bashing women, he blew up. So these people, they understand this is the formula. If I want to be rich, I gotta use the formula, and they
Yeah, it's
making a
called the wow
decision.
factor.
Obviously, it's an incentive to bash black people, and they see that. Who created the
Well,
system to bash black people?
my brother, can I say something? Let me tell
Go
you.
ahead.
Let me tell you. By the way, God bless everyone. One love to all my people holding it down. let me say something. Oh, by the way, my brother, it's very telling that you're wearing that shirt because I always said that you look like you are related to Muhammad Ali. By the way,
Thank you. We're from the
are
same
you? By the
city.
way,
No, we're from the same city.
okay, I got you. So there might be a like relation separation as far as family, like down lineage or something. But you definitely remind me of him. But anyways, understand something, my people, that what it is. Everything that you think is right or wrong, it doesn't matter because they have a way to twist the narrative into how you think because it's all psychological. That's why it's called psychological warfare. See, understand when it comes to the whole colorism thing is not a thing about skin color. It's an actual status. You know, here in the United States of America, if you're born here and you are a USA national and you are born here, you can actually claim white as a status, not necessarily as a color, and nobody can refute or ask you any questions based on that because anybody out here and everybody out here can choose to be who they want to be and how they want to be. So at the end of the day, the reality is this. I've been in situations where me myself growing up, I grew up in an old urban neighborhood. I'm Dominican, but I look like this. I was born like this. I'm cut my hair and everything the way I am. I come from that lineage. But what I'm saying is this. I realized that the whole color thing, when United States is the only place that asks you on an application, what's your race? What's this? What's your color? Where you from? Nowhere in the world do they ask you that. See, understand something. When it comes to like Dominicans, let's just say something about Dominicans, right? Because a lot of Dominicans are very quick to like stop you when you say that you're black. They say, no, I'm Spanish. I'm Dominican. The only reason why is because we realize that when it comes to the black, when you own the word black, that's a status. It's like a corporation. See, United States is a big corporation. So when a corporation is in the black, that means they're in the negative. So at the end of the day, they give you the option to go ahead and choose what you want to be. Because if you choose white, they cannot sit there and question you based on that. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants that smoke when it comes to, your rights as far as being, the human rights as far as how we are in these days. So what I'm saying is that when someone pulls you over, all they have to do is run your license plate. Right away, they see that what you claim is to be black and license. They'll pull you over and treat you as such. I've been in situations where a police officer has approached me in a negative way and try to antagonize me to try to get riled up. But the minute I spoke Spanish, because I realized he was Spanish, he switched. It was different. And
Brother,
I
I'm
feel,
gonna have to disagree with you.
well, I
I'm
mean,
gonna have to disagree with you
you could disagree,
because
but I'm explaining my experience as far as what,
that's your experience. But
But listen, let me
if
finish
I
my
don't
story
speak
before you
Spanish,
disagree.
okay, that just shows the racism of Spanish people. If I
Well,
don't speak Spanish and I get pulled over by a Spanish cop, how the hell he gonna believe that I'm white? I mean,
no,
this
listen to what I'm
country
saying.
to this.
Listen to what I'm saying.
But wait a minute,
Listen
hold
to
on,
what I'm
brother.
saying.
It's easy for y'all who don't come from this country to discredit our service, to
I
discredit
come
us
from
and
this
say,
country. I come from
"Oh,
this country. I
you."
was born in New York.
But okay, but you're Dominican descent. You're not
It don't
80.
matter.
You're not ADOS. You're not an
It
American
don't matter.
descendant of slave. You have
It don't
your
matter
family
because
did
they
not
took
come
over
from here.
Taino.
Your family is immigrants. So your
I'm first
experience,
generation American. I
it
could break
doesn't
that
matter.
math.
You're not a
It
American.
does.
You're not American. You're not an American descent of slavery. So your experience is different. You know another language. Most American descendants of slaves only know one language.
My
We
brother,
don't
the
know
difference between you
Spanish.
and I
And
is
for the
that you're
fact that you just said, and I have seen this before too. I went into a bank and the lady knew I was there first, but she was the Spanish, and the man who came in was Spanish, and she took the man who was Spanish over me. So it's different because in the outside of America, people are identified by their nationalities. Like that's why you got black Puerto Ricans saying I'm not black, I'm Puerto Rican, because they don't know their history. You got Dominicans saying I'm not black, I'm Dominican, because you don't know your history. You got Cubans who say I'm not Cuban because I'm not black because I'm Cuban. Because y'all identify by your nationality.
Well, let
In
me explain to
America,
you
we
this.
identify by our race
Well, listen,
because
let me
our
explain.
nationality is American.
But
It
let me
doesn't.
explain.
We're
Let,
Americans,
let me
but
explain this to
our
you.
race separates us in America.
But let me
So it's
explain.
easy. So
Let me.
you can. So, but wait a minute. Hold on. You can, as a black Dominican, you can identify with a white skinned Hispanic because y'all have language in common. Unless that country don't like Dominicans, but I
Understand,
can't do that because
but
I'm black. I don't have enough.
I understand, but because you are American, understand when you come to my country, do you think that they're gonna be like negro? They're gonna call you gringo, and gringo is classified to be white, but at the end of the day, it's not. It's not
If
really
I
white.
come to
It's
your
American.
country, if I come to your country, they're not even gonna know what I am until I open my mouth.
No,
I look dead on
No,
you.
believe it or not, they actually will notice because it's a different way of
No, they won't. I look dead on
brother.
you.
They've
right.
confused me with being just black and not being able to speak in Spanish because of the
Exactly.
So
reason I
What
I
did
just
am.
I
wanted
just
to
say,
But
say,
brother? What did I just say, bro? Hold on, sister. What did I just say, brother? Until I open my mouth, they're not gonna know what the hell I am because I look dead on you. I look dead on Dominicans. My skin color is the same color as Dominicans.
of
Until I
course,
open my mouth, they're not gonna know what the hell I am. They might
but they
think
can
if I keep
trust
my
me.
mouth shut, they might. This is one of us. He looks just
But
like us. But as
just
soon as I
based on how
open
you
my mouth,
dress,
they're gonna say that's not one of us. That's
but
the
based on how
only
you
way,
dress, based on how you dress and how you look, people actually
brother.
have their own
But
perception, and I'm
brother,
telling
I
you.
could dress. Oh my God, get off. Go away. I ain't
No,
got
got
I'm
it
time.
trying to tell
too.
you straight up.
Go away.
Straight up. It's not even about no racism or nothing. I'm just letting you know
It is,
that
brother.
what it is.
Brother, it's about nationality. I can go to Cuba. I met black Cubans who look just like me. I can go to Brazil. I met Brazilians who are darker than me. I
I'm
can
not
go to
arguing
Puerto
that.
Rico. I can go anywhere in outside of America, and people won't know what I am until I open my mouth. When
The
I
only
open my
difference
mouth, they
between
would
you
know
and
what I
I,
am.
the only difference between you and I is that your ancestor had European English slave owners, and
And
I had
until you open
Spanish
your
slave
mouth, they
owners.
identify you as
That's the
black.
only reason why we speak Spanish because we have Spanish slave owners. Spain came from Europe, and they had slaves.
Brother,
So
we
that's the
know
reason why.
this. But that's what connects y'all. That's what connects y'all. If I was to go to Dominica, they wouldn't know that. They wouldn't know shit about. If I could talk their language, they would be like, "Oh, he's one of us." Because there's people over there that look just like me. You see that in the Bronx every day. There's people
Of
in the
course.
Bronx who look just like me, but their nationality is Dominican. What I'm saying is, outside of America, people claim nationality over race. In
Why?
America, we claim race over
True.
nationality.
Why? Why?
Why what?
Why do you claim race over nationality? You're
Because
American.
what race enslaved us?
You're no,
What the
you're
hell?
American. You're indigenous, aren't you?
I was a slave. I
I'm
wasn't
saying that.
included in the American Constitution when America was started. I wasn't included in the damn Constitution.
Okay, do you believe that you was brought from Africa, or that your lineage comes from this land right here? Because we've been here.
Okay, you haven't been here, but I have been here
How do you know? How do you know that I
because
haven't
you're
been here?
Dominican. You're
No,
Dominican. You come from
listen.
You're
Dominica.
Back then,
Dominican.
before the European laws took over, who knows how many people used to travel back and forth? The islands is right there, Florida right
But
there.
brother, you can trace someone in your family came from Dominica to the Americans. So you're not from America. You're from Dominica.
How am
You
I
can
from?
actually trace someone from your family who was in Dominica and came to America. I can't
I'm
do
a,
that.
I was born here.
So what? Was your grandparents born here?
It don't matter when my grandparents were
It
born.
does matter. It
Why?
That
does
does
matter.
matter.
How does it matter when it comes to the society as far as how they program everything to be right now when it comes to business and commerce and everything? That
That's
doesn't
two different
matter.
subjects. That's two different subjects. But you're saying, are you indigenous to?
Well, I
But
was
you're
born in New York.
brother. Okay, that's like an Italian person saying I'm indigenous to America, but their great great grandparents immigrated from Italy.
let me ask you: does a blue passport make you American when you travel?
Brother,
Does it? Yes or no?
no, it doesn't.
It
Brother,
doesn't
listen
make
to
you
what I'm
American.
saying. Where was your parents born?
They were born in Dominican Republic.
So you're not indigenous to America.
How? If I was born here, all my generation is gonna be here. All my kids,
No,
grandkids, they're gonna
you
be
just
right
said
here.
you
I didn't
just said
migrate here. I was born here. I got
yeah,
an
okay,
American
that's
right.
fine. You're first generation American.
Exactly.
Your parents came from Dominica. So you're
Realize
not
your power, my
indigenous to
brother. When you're
America.
first generation American, realize your power. My power is that
I'm not
I
first
got.
generation American. My
Understand? My
parents came
power
from
is the fact that I was born here. So I'm the
but
generational
you're not the
curse
same.
is
So,
being
brother, listen
broken
to
by
me.
me by
You're
being
not
born
the
here and utilizing what I need to utilize for my family.
you're
People
not the
need to
same,
realize that.
brother. Listen to me. You're not the same as me. My parents was born here. My parents was born here. My parents was born here. My
So you're indigenous to this country.
parents
So
was
you're
born here.
American. So you're American.
But
You're
brother,
indigenous to this place.
you're first generation American. I'm
Of
like,
course.
so we're not the same, brother.
I'm not
My
saying that we're
parents,
the same. I'm telling you with my part. We're not the
but
same because you have four
you're
generations
not
here.
indigenous to America,
No,
sir.
but you know
You're
what?
not indigenous.
I obviously I am because the Caribbeans are owned by the Americas. What are you saying?
That's not the same as the United States of America.
But
OMG.
I am
He wants
American, my
he
brother. I
wants
got blue passport. I
validation.
can travel around the world as an
Okay,
American.
brother. Let Maya speak. Go
He
ahead, Maya.
wants
All
he
right, go
wants
ahead.
validation. It looks like he wants validation. Let's just
It's
give
not
him
validation.
validation.
It's not validation. It's the truth. Own what you are. If you're born here, own who you are. Look, black is a classification. That's
But
all I'm
just
saying, my
because you
brother.
were born,
I ain't
you know
arguing
what?
nothing. It's just a classification. This is a business.
So in other words, you
America's
feel
a
that
business.
since you were born here, you're entitled to what?
To anything that
To what
America
label?
offers, because to anything that America offers, you just got to go down the right channels.
Okay, that's fine.
Black is a
But
classification.
brother, you can't say you're indigenous American if you can trace
Right.
your lineage to another country.
Back to
But
some
I'm the
exactly.
first blood here in America that was
But
born
that
here. So
doesn't
my
make you
generation that
indigenous.
continues.
That's
Indigenous
But
means
exactly.
it doesn't make you indigenous. That means that your parents came here and had you here. You were anchor baby because your parents came from another country
Basically.
and they had
no,
you in
they got
America.
the citizenship legally. They got the citizenship legally, how they're supposed to, and they
But you're
had me
still an
here.
anchor baby.
You're still
I
an
was an
anchor
anchor baby.
baby. Even if
It
they
don't
got their
matter.
citizenship legally.
It
Oh
don't
my
matter.
God.
I have the rights of an American like any white person here
Yes,
because I
you
was born
do. You
here.
have the rights of all American citizens, but you're not indigenous. Indigenous means that your whole bloodline comes from one country.
I don't think he
Your
knows what that
bloodline
means.
comes from a different country.
Obviously, I do know, sister. What I'm trying to tell you is that black is a classification. Is we are the only country that want to classify people based on color when it comes to application, getting a job, getting any loan, anything here. Anywhere around the world, they don't even classify you as that.
Because that's race. People around the world are classified by nationality. We're
But the
classified
That's
by
colors of
true.
the
race in
thing
And
is
I
there's
America.
travel a
white,
lot. That's true.
there's white people looking, there's black people looking. In my country, look, my dad is as black as Michael Jordan.
Okay, but y'all
So
go
what I'm
But
by
you're
saying,
not understanding what
nationality.
he's saying.
and there's blue-eyed white people over there in Dominican Republic, also Asian looking too. But they don't classify themselves as a color because they don't have that system. Only in America do they have that system. And what I'm saying is
Exactly.
that if you're American, listen, if you're American and born here, you can actually utilize every single right and every single human right in this land. You can have that right if you know how to go
Wait a minute, brother.
down the
Wait a minute,
right
brother.
avenue.
Wait a minute, brother. Wait a minute. Hold on, brother. You just said someone brought up a good point. You said that you was indigenous to America, but then you said in my country.
Exactly.
So how is you indigenous to America if you have another country?
I could get dual citizenship. You know that, right?
But you're not. That means that you're not indigenous.
I could
Indigenous
get dual
means that you.
I
citizenship,
don't think
meaning
he
by being born
understands.
here, I could be American and I can also get Dominican papers as well.
But, but brother, I can't do
Can you
that.
get
What country?
African
Okay,
papers?
brother, answer this question. What country can I get dual citizenship in?
In Ghana right now,
I never been to Ghana,
as
Well,
born as American.
but they're
Okay,
offering it. But they're offering it.
but was I born there? Nobody in my
It don't.
family was born in
They
Ghana.
don't care. They don't care. They just want you to go over there and live. Look it
But
up.
can I get dual citizenship in Dominica?
You will have to live a certain amount of years there.
exactly.
Exactly.
But what I'm telling you is
That's
that
what he's trying to tell you.
me being born here, I have the same rights as anyone else that was born here, white, color. It don't matter. Even Chinese people, it don't matter. All I'm saying though is it's a system. If you choose to choose that color, understand this is a corporation. They're gonna treat you as such. That's being at
Brother,
the bottom of the totem pole.
you are more.
I've studied. I'm not a Moor, but I've studied.
Yeah, because you talking that same BS.
Brother, you got to look into it,
Okay,
man. You
brother,
can't just fall into the
let me
system.
ask you a question.
Ask.
You said the Hispanic police officer pulled you over and you started talking Spanish and they started treating you different. Let's say that same Spanish police officer pulls me over, but I don't know Spanish. Are they going to treat me? Are they going to start treating me with respect?
To be honest, I couldn't tell you. It all depends on how you
They're
act.
not. Exactly. They're not.
In
They're
other
not going to
words,
do it.
since they didn't identify you as being an African
But I chose
American,
to
you were
listen.
treated better.
I chose to speak that in Spanish because of the fact that I know
So what
when it
made
comes
you
to the
speak in Spanish?
you know why? Because I already know the psychological warfare that's
Because
going on
you
here.
Exactly.
used that part. You used that part as a pawn. That's what it was.
No, I didn't use it as a
Exactly.
pawn. I use it as a strategic way to
You
win the
used it as
war.
a pawn so you would not be identified as an African American. That's all it
No,
was.
Exactly. That's
listen
what
to
you
me.
did.
Understand something.
That's what it
What's an
was.
African American? You can't claim to be African American if you telling me that you got 4 generations here in America. 4
But bro,
generations here in America, and you still claiming Africa? Come
You.
on, man. Let's
Why
be
did you
real. You
speak
washed
Spanish?
out after
When that
four
officer put you,
generations.
what was the
After
reason
4
for you
generations,
speaking
that washed
Spanish? Because
out.
you wanted to
That's
be
the reality,
identified
man.
as something other than what you were.
Look,
So what was
you
the
can choose to be
reason?
what you want to be. And here in America,
brother, let me
men are
ask you a
choosing to
question.
Okay.
be women.
Hold on, brother. Hold on, brother. So if a black cop came up to you, would you have spoke Spanish to that black cop?
No, why?
Why
Exactly.
wouldn't you speak Spanish to that black cop?
Look, I've been approached by black
But
cops and
brother, but
spoken to them
when
straight
the black
English
cop
and been treated
approaches
worse
you,
than a white cop and
okay,
been treated worse than white cops.
but this is what we're saying. You understood that speaking Spanish to that cop created a
What
bond
is wrong
between
with me
you.
having that advantage? What is wrong with me having that advantage? I can use it, so why not
Advantage.
utilize it?
Yourself. That's the
Yes,
key
and there's
word.
nothing wrong with having
The
an advantage,
advantage.
sister. There's nothing wrong. That's the
Okay.
problem. All this humble bullshit that people are on, oh, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that. Let me tell you something. They'll use that same avenue that they're trying to hold you up against on you, and they use that
But
advantage on you. So
brother, we don't speak
no,
Spanish. We don't speak Spanish.
understand. I
And we don't
understand
use
that part. But listen,
advantages to
the
try to get
black
out
cop
of
that,
situations.
but the
Like
black,
if
listen, the black cop that pulled me over, he didn't know I was Spanish, and he treated me like shit.
it sounds
Right,
like you
because all he
used
seen was a
privilege.
black
That
person.
was your privilege.
Exactly. Because all he seen, but when you seen a Spanish cop, you started talking Spanish to him
No, I didn't
because
speak.
it
No, I
gave
Exactly.
didn't
you an
speak Spanish. No,
advantage.
listen to me. I didn't want to bring up the reason why I spoke Spanish, but at the end of the day, it was my mother-in-law. She had Alzheimer's, and she got the cops and made up some crazy ass story, and they came over here to check the house to try to see if it was true. And when I started talking to my mother-in-law in Spanish, because that's the only way that she actually spoke, that's when they noticed, you know what I'm saying, that I was Spanish. But before I even spoke Spanish, they were treating me like shit.
Exactly, because all they
And
seen was
that's
a
what
black
we're trying
man.
to say
Okay,
because
man.
because of how you look. That's what we're trying to say. You use that
But
as an
I'm trying to tell
advantage,
you
and
that
it worked
it's.
for you.
But listen,
Brother,
You use
understand
it as
something.
an
Listen,
advantage,
understand
and it
something.
worked for you. We
Listen to
can't
me.
do that. We
Listen to me.
cannot do that.
If
You
you
can do
chose,
that.
if you choose the classification of
it
what
has
they
nothing to
give
do
you,
with
if you choose to be
classification.
that, listen, it's like organ donors. If you choose to be an organ donor, right? Do you know what the business is behind being an organ donor? It's
Yeah,
basically that, you
brother,
know
that's
what?
not
If
the
they,
same analogy. It's not about
Not
what
the same.
it
it's
is
not
because it's
about
an
what
option.
brother. We can if you can't speak Spanish and you look like us, all they see is your color. They don't see that you gay. They don't see that you Christian. They don't see that you Muslim. They don't see
They
that you
don't see
Alpha
nothing.
fraternity.
But I'm,
They don't see that you're
I'm
don't
gonna
be
tell
upon
y'all
us.
what I'm trying to tell y'all is this. When that situation happened to me, I realized that it's all a game. It's all a real game, and what you have to be put on game to be able to gain the advantage. Look, they were trying to
So,
press me
in other
because
words, you're
listen
stating
to me.
that
Hold on,
it's all a
sister.
game,
Hold
so
on,
use
sister.
your advantage to get
They were
by.
trying to push me to get angry because right away they assumed that I was black. So when it came
Right.
Exactly.
down to it,
You
at the
said
end of the
it,
day,
brother.
Can
They assumed that you
That's
I
what
didn't
black.
we're
classify.
trying to say.
can
That's
I
what we're
Listen
expound?
to me,
trying
brother.
to
What I'm saying
say.
though, but when they checked my
Can
background
I?
and I spoke, understand something, that made all the difference because you know what? I never classified myself as anything but American when it came down to any
No, they
application, my
didn't,
license and
brother.
everything.
Brother, you
I
spoke
never said
Spanish.
black. I never said nothing.
You
It don't
spoke
Can
matter
I?
what
Spanish,
you
and
say,
they
the
spoke
struggles are
Spanish.
not the same. They're not the
Can I?
same.
We're
Can I?
not talking about no struggle. We're talking about right now,
Okay,
man. Fuck the struggle.
wait a
Fuck
minute.
the
Let
past
life
at the end of
talk.
the
Let
day
life
because
talk.
it's
Hold
about
on, brother.
now.
Hold on,
It's about
brother.
now and your kids and
Brother,
the
Can,
kids of
can
the
I?
brother.
future.
Let life talk. Chill out. Let life talk. Go ahead, life.
Can I expound for a second?
Go
I
ahead.
mean, if it makes sense, right?
If you can
No,
make it make
you
sense.
know, when the Montgomery thing happened, and I was trying to get to you, and I've been trying to get on your platform for a minute because at the end of the day, a lot of things that you were saying, bro, it's like I didn't understand it. But my thing is right here, like you now, okay, now that passed, okay, and now it's all brother and sister and brother and sister. But when that thing happened, you was against what the situation was and with the vision and the views of what that situation happened.
No,
And,
I think you're misunderstanding.
hold on, because it kind of rubbed me the wrong way because I'm down here, right? I'm down here in
Okay.
Montgomery, right?
Okay.
I've been born and raised. Said now I'm hearing you like with this brother and sister shit, and you wasn't doing that like a couple weeks ago, bro.
Bro,
Like you was a whole.
let me explain to you. Let me explain.
Hold on, because I'm here to make a point. I'm here to make
Okay.
a point.
But you
I'm gonna
can't
make
make a
a point.
point if you don't understand what I was
I'm gonna
saying.
make a listen. No, because I'm
If
gonna
you
make
don't
a point.
understand what I
And
was saying, you can't make a point. Now, let me explain to you before you make a point because you
what's
might have
your
a
point?
different thing.
What's your point?
What I
What's your
was
point? Let's go
saying,
back to that.
listen to me, hold on, because maybe you need to understand what I was saying. I did not criticize the brother who swam across the lake. I did not criticize the brothers who came from east to west to help that brother. What I criticized was the brother, the captain, the co-captain, allowing his job to put him in that position because you have to be wiser to understand. Hey, man, you've been talking to them people 45 minutes. They ain't moved that boat. They've been cussing you out. They've been flicking you off. They've been throwing threats. What the hell do you think I'm going to go do when I get down there? Well, okay, when I get down there, what do you think that I'm going to say that's going to make them move that damn boat? See, what I criticized was allowing your job to put you in a fucked up position. And that's what happens to black men a lot of times. We allow our jobs to put us in fucked up positions. And we
Uh-huh.
know because they hire us based on we got big black man strength. When you go to a liquor store, the Arabs won't hire you to work behind the cashier, but they'll hire a black person to be a security guard because they're hiring you for your big black man strength. Because
Right.
the captain was in the wrong because you should have called the police. Okay, 5 minutes. You
He did.
asked them to move, they didn't move. Call the damn
He
police.
did. But he
No, he
did.
called the police. He called the police 45
He
minutes
did.
after. He should have called the police after he gave them people 5 minutes to
Immediately.
move.
You talking to somebody who's there.
Brother,
So I know.
brother. So you're calling the Montgomery
Man, fuck
police
what
chief
you
a
saying.
liar? So you saying the police chief lied? The police chief said the call came in at 7 o'clock. They was there for 45 minutes before he called the police. That's what the police chief said. So
If
you
you
calling the police chief a liar?
listen. I'm from Montgomery,
Okay, it
bro.
don't
It's
matter,
61%.
You can be from
Hold on.
Montgomery.
What the fuck you mean it don't matter? I'm
brother,
from
because
here.
you
You
was
from
What you
because
mean
the
it
police.
don't matter? You ain't
This is
from
the
here.
information coming from the
We
police
we
chief.
are
This is the
listen.
information coming from the
I don't give
police
a
chief. They have
we
the
are
records. It don't matter where you're from.
we are
Are you the police chief? So,
61%.
brother, are you calling the police chief a liar?
We are 61%
Brother, I don't give a
melanin.
damn if you're
Melanin
100%. Brother,
here.
the question is,
We're
answer the
not. We're
question.
not from Oklahoma, where
Brother,
you
answer
from,
the
or
question.
where the
Answer the
hell you
question, brother.
from. But
Are you calling the
you was
police chief a
so.
liar?
I call him a liar.
Okay, so the police chief said the first
Cause if
call
you
to the
see it,
Montgomery Police Force came in at 7 o'clock. That's
did you
45
see the
minutes
video?
after they spent
Did
their
you
time on the
see?
PA.
Did you not see? Did you not see all the police officers? Man, I done had an accident in Montgomery, right here off of Grand Street, bro. I done had an accident off there, and I done
Okay,
had
what the
black.
fuck does that got to do with anything, brother? What the
Cause
hell that
I'm
got to do
from
with
here,
anything?
Exactly.
bro. Cause
What
I'm
does that got to
from
do with
here.
anything? Those are two
Because I'm
Okay,
different
from
you
events.
from
here.
there in what? You from there in what? What is the point?
But what I'm saying, what I'm trying to get him to understand is you can't speak on Alabama shit when you don't know
Brother,
about
get the
Alabama
hell out
shit.
of here,
And
man. I
then
get
you
tired of y'all
you're a
Alabama
fuck
Negroes
shit, it
talking
was
nigga.
that
in
crap.
the
You're a fuck
news. Like,
nigga.
what the fuck?
I get tired of y'all talking that crap. Like, you can't speak on this because you're not from here. Okay, when those white people in Alabama start whooping y'all's ass, don't call the rest of us, because remember, we can't speak on Alabama stuff because we're not from Alabama.
Exactly.
Well, so what? You disagree on the
I did not agree. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying that that guy allowed his job to put him in a fucked up position because you
who's
have.
the
Because listen to me.
who's his manager?
The white the white captain, when the white captain pulled up, he spent 45 minutes trying to tell those people on the PA. If you go listen to his interview, he'll talk about it. He spent 45 minutes asking those people to move. And all they
45 minutes that he could have been called the
right, he could have
cops.
called the cops. And
The
then
white
all they
cap.
was doing was cussing him out, flicking him off, talking about making threats. And then he go get the black man. He go get the black man and he tells the black man, go down there and move the boat. Why? What the hell? If you've been talking to him 45
Right,
minutes,
he did it. He's a captain. He got the
that's
license to do it.
exactly that's what I'm saying. That's my point. Why didn't you go down there and move the damn boat? You the captain.
Exactly.
Wow, and that's
That's what you call a pawn. He used the
exactly.
pawn.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Don't allow your job to put you in an effed up situation.
I don't
Because
think
I
so.
would have told him, why don't you
I
go down
believe
there
in
and
that
move the
too.
boat?
When people try to stop like these thieves at Walmart, I'm like, dude, why you jeopardizing your life for this
Exactly.
business that is billionaires are making billions per second, every second?
Exactly.
Like, come
That's
on,
what
man.
I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But that's it, but it's a psychological warfare is what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I'm not trying to fight y'all. I believe in everything, you know what I'm saying? Because I've seen it both sides of the world, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? How people like speaking and people want to pacify each other. Some people, yo, Jermaine, you might be muted because that's the thing, man, loud. There you go. Yo,
Yeah.
like it's a psychological warfare. Like my parents didn't get it because they come from an island, and but my dad had a dream. He was like, you know what? I'm not gonna subject my kids to this system here. I'm gonna have my kids in America. That was his dream. So me, all I'm doing for my generation moving forward is to make them understand something. This is a company that's have registries when it comes to your birth certificate, your social security card, and forget the credit cards and everything. You're a commodity to them. We are cattle. They pay their debts with us,
We are a number.
and
Right.
not
I
necessarily
agree with you, bro.
and not necessarily just black. It's just it's a status. It's a status quo. They don't give a fuck about color. They give a fuck about status. What is your status? They got a billionaires club. You understand something? Look at the psychological thing when it comes to that. A newspaper there's called Donald Trump a multimillionaire. He sued that newspaper company because the status that they put him on was a lie. He's a billionaire. And when it comes to this society and these billionaires club and everything, that matters. One little cent, $1 that takes you away from being a billionaire, you don't belong in that society because that's a different level.
But I
So
agree
what?
with you, brother. But like on the lower level, it doesn't matter what you classify. When you're dealing with the pawns, I should say, the pawns are the police officers, the judges, and people like that. When you're dealing with them, they don't care about what status you claim. All they see is a black person. Now,
Right.
when you get higher up and you get up into that billionaires club, like Kanye West was able to say a lot of shit when he was a billionaire, but as soon as they
That's the reason
kicked
why
him
he
out of
did
the
it.
yeah, when they
That's what.
kicked him out of that billionaire club, He ain't been talking because
Well,
because
you
he's
know
not a
what?
billionaire no more.
Remember what he said. He said, "Look, if I disappear for a good amount of time, and all of a sudden I come back, that's a clone, or somebody that looks like me, and they're trying to, continue that whole brand. Because understand, he's a brand, and he wasn't stupid for what he did because he got to a certain status that he made him realize, you know what? Why am I giving you so much percentage of things like that? Because understand, when he designed his clothes, he said that was poor that had ripped clothes. The companies decided to price it at that point because I didn't have no control of it. I wanted to sell it for $15-$20. Just ask anybody who designs any type of sneaker for a big company like them. They don't want to sell it for 300 and make it impossible for people to attain it. But the companies, they make it limited to make a big ass buck. So
Yeah,
understand, this is a
I
big
agree
ass
with you,
chess
brother.
game.
I
This ain't
agree with
checkers,
you,
this is
brother.
chess.
But race
I'm
is
playing
on the
chess.
lower level. Race is not on the higher level. When we
It's a
talking about
status.
right, wait, hold on, listen to me. When we talk about the billionaires, they don't care about race.
It
They
don't.
made they made race a factor among the poor people. If you really
Yep.
look at who's carrying out the racism in this world, it's poor people. The Ku
Yep.
Klux Klan are poor people. They're
Yep.
not billionaires. They're poor people.
You know
So the racist.
how many Ku
Wait
Klux
a minute,
Klans
brother. You gotta wait.
done
You
turned
gotta wait.
around?
You gotta wait. I know you want to talk, but you gotta wait because you can understand we're saying the same thing. Racism is not a status among poor people. They don't see status. All they see is
You're right.
color.
You're
They
right.
see color. But when you go higher up and we talking about billionaires, they don't see color because they don't like poor white people. They don't like poor Hispanics. They don't like poor black people. They don't like poor people in general. So,
In general.
but racism is kept alive among the poor people. So it's not a status. It's what we see because for some reason in America, race is a way that the rich people stay in control. Because if we was to all stop fighting among racism and really look at what's really going on and who's controlling what, they couldn't be in control no more. I'll tell you a story. Do you remember the 99% movement? People don't realize, people don't think about this. At one time during Obama's presidency, all the races got together and they were shutting down Wall Street. It was got so bad that they were shutting down Wall Street in other countries. But you know what happened? During that movement, Trayvon Martin got killed. A black kid getting killed by a Latino happens all the damn time in LA. No one says nothing. Don't know why this one was so special. Then
Because it's a distraction.
right. Then Michael Brown got killed. And then all of a sudden, when Michael Brown got killed, a movement, after
Black
Trayvon
Lives
Martin got
Matter.
killed, you didn't hear nothing else about the 99% movement. Then Michael Brown got killed, and you got Black Lives Matter. They destroyed the movement of the people by creating a movement based on race. And Black Lives Matter never addressed economics because the main
Well,
problem in the world is not racism. The main problem in the world is poverty. Half the world
yeah.
is in poverty. Like 333 people got more money than 3 billion people in the world. And there's only 7
Yeah.
billion of us in the world. 300 people combined got more money than 3 billion people. There's only
Well,
7 billion people in the world. So the problem isn't racism. The problem is poverty. But they will
yeah.
never allow you to address poverty. They will. So to stop the 99% movement, which was going to catch on worldwide, they created a race movement in Black Lives Matter. After Black Lives Matter was created, you never heard anything about the 99% movement. We ain't even
Yo,
talked about economics since the Black Lives Matter was created. We
you
ain't
know
even
who
talked about economics.
you know who GS? You know who GS? I don't want to say the name because I don't want to get
Yeah,
kicked out. You know who GS
George.
is, right?
George.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
George.
Okay. So think about this. That man for the last 75 years have been betting on every economic downfall around the world, all the way back to the days of Hitler. You see what I'm
Well, that's the
saying?
name you
And he
shouldn't
been
say.
betting on it. Exactly. See, but you understand what I'm saying, though,
Right.
right? So at the end of the day, if you think about, like I said, it's just a psychological warfare. At the end of the day, what I realized that day when I was faced with what I was faced with, I realized that it was true, because before I was considered a conspiracy theorist the way I was thinking. You know what I'm saying? So there was many times that I second guessed myself to be like, hold on, man, like, am I wrong? Before, and then when I was faced with it and I seen that I can take an opportunity to see, just to see what's up, even though my mother-in-law was right there and I was able to do what I had to do, I seen how it flipped. And when they wrote a statement and I got the statement back, when they put race, they put W as white. I was like, wow. Like, they didn't put Hispanic or nothing like that. They put white. I was like, wow, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But
how that can happen.
but
So it's like this. I can never. They could never refute what you choose as far as classification, because if you think about it, when it comes to economic sense and it comes to corporation or business, you can choose to be who you want to be, because, like I said, men can choose to be women and women can choose to be men and non-binary and all this crazy shit that's going on right now. So at the end of the day, when you really think about it, the psychological warfare is very deep and is very economical and financially driven.
yeah, it is true. But at the same time, you can choose whatever you want to put down as status, but that judge sees you as who you are. When you go before that judge, you can put white on that paper all you want to, and
You
that
know what's
judge looks
crazy?
up. But that judge
Look at
looks up and he sees a black person. So it doesn't matter what you put on that
look at
paper.
look at the Black Law Dictionary. The Black Law Dictionary actually supersedes the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court actually recognizes that law
No,
to
it don't, bro. Brother, brother, that's the thing. Like when y'all Morris like
not the Moors. They
yeah,
call
I
it
know
Black
what y'all
Law, but
I know what
it's
y'all
not Black
saying, but
Law.
y'all like to say, like people like you like to say you can travel without a driver's license. They
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. You know why I can't say that? Because of the fact that I got a Social Security, I got a birth certificate. So I agree when I signed to be part of the corporation. So I have to respect every single law when it comes to that corporation, which it comes to legislation, when it comes to police departments, military, whatever it is. As if I'm participating in it, I cannot refute and challenge their laws. I will have to relinquish and be a diplomatic, get diplomatic immunity that the Supreme Court actually does recognize, believe it or not. And the police
but
department does recognize the the Fourth Amendment, and they're supposed to abide by that oath, and that's a Moorish law. So at the end of the day, the first people that recognized America for who they were the Moors. So we cannot sit there and just sit there and say, oh,
brother,
they're
but what I'm
crazy, and
saying
just be like,
is,
oh, whatever, whatever. I'm just
brother,
letting you
but
know
what
that
I'm
there's certain
saying is,
things.
brother, what I'm saying is all that shit sounds good, but most of them Moors been going to jail. All that shit sounds good. You can
It's not about
declare your
that.
nationality and all that
No,
BS, but
you cannot sit there and be condescending and be pretentious and be like, oh, fuck you, fuck you. You understand? You're still in this land, and the corporation is powerful. You have to
brother, I
respect
don't know
whatever's
about
going
that.
on.
All I'm saying is our national people be talking that BS about declare your nationality and all this crap. You know how many people are Moorish dissenters in jail? That stuff
I don't know
don't
what
work. That
I
whole
don't know what
sovereign
the
citizen shit they got that from a white supremacist group. The
not
first people
necessarily.
that proclaimed,
The
yes, it was, brother. Learn the history of it. It was a white
what's the
supremacist
Federal
group.
Reserve? What's the Federal Reserve? Aren't they sovereign?
Do with what
I'm just asking
sovereign
a question.
citizen.
Aren't they sovereign? The Federal Reserve?
The Federal Reserve is not sovereign. It's not
It
part of
is
America in
sovereign.
the first place. It's
No,
not
it is
part of
sovereign.
America,
It is
brother.
sovereign.
What the hell? How
DC
can you, brother?
DC is
How are
sovereign.
you? What the brother? How are you comparing the Federal Reserve to a citizen?
I'm telling you, as far as sovereignty goes, when it comes to the law of sovereignty,
Brother, you're not sovereign. Sovereign
what
means that
I'm not
you're.
saying that I am. I'm telling you that when it comes to
There's
certain
nobody
corporations,
who's sovereign. Sovereign means
yo,
that
look it up.
brother. There's no such thing as a sovereign citizen.
My
If
brother.
these people are sovereign, then why? If you're sovereign, that means you're completely independent. These people are
Exactly.
claiming they. Wait a minute, hold on. If they're sovereign, they depend on America for gas. They depend on America for light bills. They depend on America for all their needs. They just people
What do
who
you
don't
think
want
the
to follow the
dollar
damn
is?
laws. Huh?
What do you think the dollar is? The dollar is only an IOU. In reality, we don't even have
Okay,
gold
brother, but
that
what's
backs
that
us.
have to do with status, brother? That's what I'm
It's because
saying.
of sovereignty. We talk
Brother,
about
you're just
sovereignty, and I'm telling
talking.
you that whoever runs our
Brother, I'm
banking
getting kind of
system, which is the
tired. You
Federal
just
Reserve,
talking. You just
I'm
talking.
not. Just look it
You
up,
are.
brother. Stop. Come on, my brother. Listen to me. I listen to you and I follow you, and
You
I
just
don't refute what you
talking,
say.
sir.
But
You
I'm
just
not talking.
talking.
Just look. But why you don't want to look it up?
Brother, because I looked it up. You're just talking.
You're telling
You're
me that
just
the Federal
bringing up.
Reserve is not a sovereign. It's not a sovereign entity.
Brother, what does the Federal Reserve have to
I'm
do with the common citizen?
I'm talking about sovereignty, my brother. We talk
Brother,
about sovereignty. You said that sovereignty don't matter.
it doesn't to the common citizen. You're not the Federal Reserve.
But I'm asking you. But you said that they're not sovereign. You said that the Federal Reserve is not.
The Federal Reserve is not a citizen. It's an entity.
But I'm saying though. But you said they're not sovereign.
Brother,
They don't
the
have to
Federal
respect our
Reserve
law.
is it's an entity.
So okay, being an entity, do you think that they have to respect the United States laws and
The
the court
Federal
system?
Reserve is not is not owned by the federal government
But why do they own us and our money then?
because we signed. The country was not set up to have a central bank. In 1919, under Woodrow Wilson, the Federal
Mm-hmm.
Reserve was created.
I like
It was
that.
created by the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the
Yes.
Bilderbergers, but that
What's their
does not
worth?
have
What's the
nothing to
Rothschilds
do
worth?
with you.
It does because they're the ones who run everything, my
No,
brother.
it does not have nothing to do with you,
This is chess. They
brother.
own
I
us.
don't give a
They
damn. You
own
can
us
give
through
me
credit
100
systems.
analogies, brother.
They own us through credit system and through
Okay, so
everything.
what, brother? But brother, we're not talking about that. We're talking about status.
Okay,
Status.
the status is what you claim, and the way that they are able to classify you is what you choose. Plain and
No,
simple is
they're
all
not,
I'm saying.
brother. I don't
All
care
right,
what you mark on that damn paper. If I go
that's on
before a
you.
white judge and he sees me, he's not going to believe I'm white just
But
because
why
I
you?
marked white on the
No, I'm
damn
saying that.
paper.
Why you? First of all, why I'm talking about business. Fuck a judge. Why you in front of a judge? Why everything has to be in front of a judge? Fuck a judge. I'm talking about a bank and getting loans and starting a
Brother, if I
business
go
and
sit down
starting
in
a
front of a
life.
bank officer, he's not going, brother,
You're not
there's no
sitting in front of a bank because they get an
brother, listen to
application
what
and then
I'm
they
saying. Hold
receive
on,
you first.
wait a minute, listen to what I'm saying. Because what you're saying is basically there's a such thing as white privilege. That if I mark my status as white, that I'm going to
White
be
privilege is
treated.
American privilege.
There's
That's
not a
what I'm
such
saying.
thing as white privilege. You cannot walk into a bank.
White privilege is American privilege when it comes to
No, it's not,
classifications and
brother.
bills.
Listen to me. Listen to me. If white privilege was such a thing, why is there white homeless people? Why don't you just go to the fucking bank and get a loan?
Have you sat down and talked to a lot, mostly homeless people?
Brother, I work with homeless people. So why don't these homeless people, these white homeless people, instead of sitting on the streets, go to the
Because it's a
fucking bank and get a
system.
loan?
Look, at the end of the day, it's still a system.
But
And
it's
if you
not.
don't use the system right, you're gonna end up in the street just like them. That's how it
But
is.
can I
No,
say
it's
something?
not,
Can I say
Why
brother,
are you
something?
not in
because
the street?
Can I
there's
say?
no
Why are you
such
not
thing
okay?
as
Why are
white
you not in the
privilege.
Can I say
But
something?
you're so oppressed, right? Why are you not
Go
in the
ahead.
streets like
Wait,
them?
wait, wait. Let the real talk. Go ahead, real.
Yeah.
The
So I said
real.
that for just a minute. So here it is. Like people talk about, white supremacy, systemic oppression, white privilege, and what that means. Okay, like here's the deal. I think there was a time, and everybody could agree that yes, you had an instance where African Americans were lesser than, and there was no means of opportunity. But in today's standard, there's nothing really that white Americans can do that we cannot. That's number one. Number two, there's really nothing stopping us or holding us back from being successful. And then, on top of it, I think being white, maybe somebody could say maybe there is some benefit, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee that your life is that you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You know what I mean? It's not a guarantee just because you're
Right.
white.
It's not
That's
like
all.
that you can just show up to a bank and say, hey, I'm white, loan me some money. They're gonna check your credit. They're gonna check it. I mean, I think Real said it earlier. They want to know how I'm gonna get my damn money back and how I'm gonna make some money off of you.
Okay,
They not
let me
just
ask you
giving
something.
money away.
Are you
They not
going
just
with
gonna
your
give you
personal
some money based
information?
on the fact that you right. They gonna look at if you can pay the money back. If you can't pay the money back, they gonna look at your credit and if you can pay that money back. If you can't pay that money back, they don't care what color you are. They ain't loaning you no money.
Are you going in with your personal information or with the LLC? Because there's a difference
Oh,
by
brother,
how they
that's
treat
totally
you and
different.
what you do.
Brother, now you keep introducing different things into it.
Because you have to be able, this is teachable moments. People got to stop focusing on what they think that they are and what they're going to do. They got to be able to use the avenues that's out there, my
Brother,
brother. That's all I'm saying, man.
LLC is based on your personal credit.
No, it's not. It's
Yes, it
not
is.
because you have a
Nope.
separate entity and
Nope.
that represents you in a different
Nope.
way.
You gotta listen.
No,
Listen. I'm gonna tell you this. Of someone who got a business loan, they check your personal credit. They sure do.
They
Yeah,
do
they
check
check
your
it.
personal credit, but what I'm saying, when it comes to the liability of whatever's going on, it's about your business. Do you have some type of like income coming in through your LLC? Because a lot of people have LLCs with no income going in there. You got to be able to have $10,000 or more for people to be able to see that there's some type of movement in there for them to be able to offer you those things. It ain't about just opening up a business account and having an LLC. You got to be able to have some money going in there so they can see the movement,
No,
and that's
we
when they
heard
get the
that.
fund.
I hear that. But in the end, it's about the personal. They're still gonna check your personal, even if you do
They
have a
could check
business.
your look. Understand something? They can check your personal, but you could go through a credit union, and credit unions are actually giving you more opportunities than these actual national banks.
No, that's very true too. But they still check your personal with the
But
business,
it don't
even.
matter, my brother. What I'm telling you is, look, there's people out there that's getting cars and everything with bad credit. Because right now, when it comes to these credit approvals, all you
stop
need to have
that.
is a
Stop that.
550. It's a 550 these
Stop,
days.
stop that, brother. They not they. So you just saying banks are just fucking giving away money just because you got an LLC? Hey,
Do you remember? Do you
take
remember the collapse?
$10,000. You don't got to pay
Do
us
you
back,
remember the collapse? What was that about? They were giving money and they're doing that shit again to try to collapse the system. Come on,
brother. That
man.
was houses. They was giving bad
Yo,
housing
what
loans
do you
out.
think is going on right now? Look around you. Look at all the new neighborhoods that's popping up
Brother,
everywhere.
they
What do
not
you think is going on?
brother. In 2008, you could get a house making 13. You could get a $500,000 house making $13 an hour. They're not doing that no
Did you
more.
not? Did
They're
you
not
not
doing
hear me
that no
right now?
more,
They're sitting there approving people with a 550.
brother, because they don't care. This is the thing. You could have an 800 credit score, but if you ain't got no money, they're not giving you no loan. You could have a
Brother,
550, and if you got money, they'll give you a loan.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
and they'll
about
check,
there's
and
having
then
people
money
who have money that
and then
have bad
also
credit and can't get shit. How about that?
because they ain't got no
I hear
money.
what the brother's saying.
No, there's
I
It
hear
people
what
that
don't.
got
I
money
hear.
and have bad credit and they can't get shit.
Wait
This
a
the
Listen to
second.
what
thing.
I'm
Hold on.
It
Let me
don't
just.
matter what
I
your
hear.
credit score is, as long as you got 20% to put down. But you gotta have that collateral and 20% to put down and get the loan. But that's for
Yeah,
exactly.
housing.
yeah.
But when it comes
Uh,
to business and being a vendor and having vendors deal with you, you got to be able to have at least a $10,000 amount in that business account. So, like I said,
Brother,
it's
you're
about
but
having
saying
money
you
movement.
brother, listen to what you said. You gotta have $10,000. You gotta have
But
money. I'm
wait,
gonna tell
so
you the
wait a
truth.
minute. What are you saying that we
Money,
can't get money? What are you saying? We
money
can't get
trumps
money?
wait, could you be
Of
quiet? You
course we
be
can
all
get
over the
money.
place. Money trumps
No,
credit
you saying
scores.
that you brought up money,
Brother,
but we
listen to
can't
what
get
I'm
money,
saying.
bro.
Brother, listen to what I'm saying. Money trumps credit scores. You could have an $800 credit score and no money, and you could have a low credit score with money. They gonna fuck
Go
with you. They not
go
fucking
talk to
with you if you ain't got
dealership.
no money.
Go talk to dealership, and trust me, when it
but
comes to financing, they won't fuck with you if your credit is
check
bad and you
this
got
out.
money.
I just wanted to come up here and share this. Check this out. If you don't mind me speaking for a moment. First, thank you for allowing me to come up.
Go ahead.
Um, I got out of prison in 1940, and I knew that there wasn't. Yeah, thank you. I knew there wasn't no bank gonna give me no money. I didn't have nowhere to go, no roof, nothing. So, long story short, for 7, 8 months, I busted my ass working 2 jobs, and I saved up every dime I could, every penny. You know what I'm saying? Like I sacrificed. And then what I did was, instead of going to a credit union or a bank for a loan, what I did was is I went ahead and I established 3 different LLCs with 3 separate EINs. That way it was 3 different entities, and then I put them under an S corp. Now, when you do that, you automatically raise your business credit score above the average without having to have transactions in the bank. And then what I did was is I went to the bank and I procured a small loan. And when I procured a small loan, I'm talking like $4,500 just for a start. But the reason I was able to secure that loan is because I was able to show documentation that all 3 of my LLCs were making money, that I was able to
That's
support the
right.
payments and interest at hand. And then once I did that, I procured a $2 million life insurance policy under my
Exactly.
business
Oh, I
credit.
love that. I
Now
love that.
listen, what I
Speak
did,
your shit. Speak
what
that
I
shit.
did then, what I did then was I paid into that insurance policy for 6 months. I paid the premiums on it. I didn't touch any of the money funding for any kind, anything. And then after 6 months, what I did was is I applied for what is called an escrow loan that anybody can do with certain life insurance places. An escrow loan is whenever they give you the interest principal off of your life insurance. And then when
Right.
they did that, they cut me a check for $86,000. Now, when I did that, I took that 86, divided it by 3, pushed it into all 3 of my business accounts for my LLCs, and I pushed it in there and didn't touch it. I pushed it as a trust, and then I let it sit for a year. And when that happened, I was able to pay off my $4,500 loan, and then after that, I secured an $8,500 loan, and then I waited 6 months, paid that off, and then after 3 years' time, I accumulated enough to where I was able to procure a $120,000 loan from a credit union because I had 2 years of equity saved up and a transaction score of fucking with them and showing that I'm good business and never missed a payment, and I pay double interest on every payment. It's about the track
Talk
record.
your shit, Johnny. Talk your shit, my
Yeah.
But
brother.
wait a minute, wait a minute. But you didn't hear what Johnny said. What did you say? How did you start, Johnny? You didn't. You worked 2 jobs,
Yeah.
and you took the money from the 2 jobs and you put it into the LLC. You just
Yeah.
didn't create an LLC and then go to the bank with no track record. He had a track record.
Well, no, that the trick is I created. See, if you create just one LLC and try to go to a bank or a credit union, they're going to deny you most of the time, unless you have some kind of equity or asset that you can push behind it, or somebody with an 850 credit score that can co-sign. But if you create 3 LLCs and push them under a S corp, now you are no longer just a business trust. You are actually a corporation. And a corporation is able to fund you under a business equity. And that's when you can have liquidated funds assets at any point in time. It basically pushes you into a higher tax bracket.
Right. But you have to show. The bank has to see that they're going to get their money back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's like. I created those 3 LLCs, pushed into an S corp. I was able to prove and show documentation that I had the funds to back up for the loan. Yeah,
Right. So it comes down to, it's just not like this mystical thing that you create. You got to have some type of funds backing to back the fact. You not a lot of funds maybe, but you have to show the bank that, oh, I got 3 LLCs, I put them in an escrow, and I got funds. So the
right.
bank is
But
looking,
how
oh,
many people
okay,
work? Everybody works. Everybody works and earn money. Why they can't allocate some type of fund on the side
Well, that's
and
the
build
thing.
something like that? It's about learning.
Most people don't have the discipline to do so. They think they can just create a LLC and poof, get a magic loan.
exactly.
And that's the thing. Like I agree with what the host saying on that, but that's the thing. Most people don't have the discipline to save every penny, nickel, dime, whatever you can. I mean, this is the thing, man. I don't care what color you are, where you're from, whatever. The American dream is real, bro. I did 8 years in prison,
Thank
got
you.
out with $45 to my name, nowhere to go, and within a year's time, I had 126 acres of land with my own house on a foundation.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And I worked my ass off for it. If you work hard and you're smart about it and you play by the rules and you read the fine print, you will succeed in life. I don't give a fuck what color you are or where you from.
And
The
that's what we
American
should
dream is
always
real.
preach. The American fucking way.
Yeah. It's equal opportunity for everybody. The only difference is most people don't know. You either get played by the system or you play the system. One or
Thank
the
you.
other.
Right. But
Yeah.
the problem is you got people out here just thinking people can create these LLCs, get EINs,
No, but
and
he's
go.
teaching you. He's teaching
No,
you. He's telling
that's
you.
what you're
We
saying.
know
Now
that.
you
I'm
agree.
not. No, I did not.
That's what you said. Create
I said you need
LLCs.
to have income going into LLC. You need
No,
to
you
have income.
didn't. No, you
I
didn't.
said you need to have
You did
over
not say that though.
$10,000 in your
Okay,
business
brother.
account to be
Okay,
able to do
brother. I'm gonna
things.
let you have
That's
it, but you
reality.
didn't say that. I'm gonna let you have it. You didn't say that, but I'm gonna let you have it.
But then also, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just about knowing how the system works and playing it to your advantage. Just like me, I actually also got my case in particular was a little bit different. I got a business line of credit, and the business line of credit that I got was around $25,000 from a credit union, and the only reason why I couldn't get more than that was because at the time I needed 3 years of financial statements. Because if you ask for a certain amount, they're going to require 3 years of financial statements. But because my business was in existence for under 3 years, I didn't have those financial statements, so I only got approved for around 25,000, and it was a line of credit from a credit union. So,
I'm
Right.
just promoting possibility. I'm not saying that it's magical or nothing like that. All I'm saying is, man, stop believing the bullshit. Like if you find a way, there's a way out. But if you stay in there and you sitting there talking about, oh, that you can't do this, you can't do
no,
that.
we agree.
Understand the
No,
people who push you away from the things you
work.
want to do are the people that cannot do what you want to do, and
No,
that's
no.
all I'm
Listen,
Now,
saying.
I agree with that, but people got to work.
now
You
let
know,
me tell you something. Hey, look.
Exactly. I'm not saying that money's gonna fall from the sky. You got to work.
Hey, but check
There's
this
nothing
out.
wrong with it.
I'm gonna give y'all a gem right here, and I'm telling you for real. Listen close. Right now, 2023, where we're at, where we're headed, we have access to Chat GPT now, which is the artificial intelligence system, and most people don't even know what they have their hands on. This right here is I mean, the sky ain't even the limit on this shit. You could do whatever you want with it. I mean, with and PowerPoints and say write a book, and within 12 seconds you got a 500-page book with your name on it as an author, and you could sell it. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you could create a blueprint business plan with this Chat GPT, and it'll give you the full breakdown that you could take to the bank for funding, and it'll be more accurate and accelerated to the bank lenders than anything any lawyer or account draft could pull up. Me personally,
Yo,
now listen, hang on. I'm
man.
telling you right now, the thing to get into is coding. Because when you get
Yep.
into coding and you learn Python and the other coding languages, you can utilize ChatGPT and it will do the mass haul work for you. Guess what I do right now? Right now,
What's that?
every 3 days, I collect between $850 to $1,200 while I sleep and chill. You know how I do so? Because I use Chat GPT and coding to create advertisement bots, which I sold to TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, Instagram, and Facebook. And I get paid for while I sleep. That's how when
That,
you know you get money,
that's
you got.
valuable information.
Yes, and anybody can do it because what they do is they buy these advertisement bots that people create, and you still get royalties from it. I'm getting paid royalties. I sold them the bots, and I get paid royalties because it's my coding. And that's the thing everybody needs to get on right now because whenever you learn coding, that's where everything's headed. Because right now, Facebook's about to drop the metaverse, and the metaverse, when it drops, it's going to take over all social media platforms, and it's going to be where us, like this right now, how we're sitting, it's not going to be like this. It's going to look like we're all just in a room chilling.
Yep.
That's what it's going to look like. And
Well,
they need
yo,
right.
coders. They need
I
coders
work.
for that.
man
I
of
used to
God,
work in
I'm gonna
IT.
ask
I
you a
worked in IT
question real
for
quick.
10 years.
Um,
So right.
Remember, when I'm sure you're around my age. I was born in '78, so that era of what I seen the whole world transition to where it's at this very point. You know what I'm saying? And we
Right.
can honestly say from what we've witnessed and the opportunity that the younger generation has, is bar none compared to what we had. Because when we had to grind hard. Even when it came down to like rapping and music, whatever you wanted to do in life, we had to grind hard to get even a little bit. But these
Right.
days, you got all these, overnight success and millionaires and companies throwing money at them, saying to use them as like a trademark and advertising, free advertising and promo, all this crazy shit. So what I'm saying
Yeah.
is that you have to be able to change the trajectory of how we was coming up, because understand something, that how our parents came up, like they don't even understand what's going on right now. Some people are actually catching up. The older heads are catching up now, but it took them a while. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like, look, like you talk about to the younger generation, and like my kid, he's 17. You'd be like, oh, talk about Facebook. He's like, oh man, that's for old people. I'm like, what? What do you mean it's for old people? Like, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Because they
Yeah.
have all these other avenues and they're utilizing. All I'm saying is that, look, we can't promote the idea of saying that that there's no opportunity out there. There's no opportunity out there if you say so. If you wake
Well,
up the next day and say I feel like shit, you're gonna feel like shit the whole day. But if you wake up the next day saying that I love life and everything's gonna be great, that's exactly what your endorphins and your mind's gonna feed you, and that's
yeah,
what you're gonna
man,
put out.
you gotta be on that. Even when you don't feel like you gotta get up and be ready to go, because the sun don't stop for nobody.